and only Darker Brown and Mr. Marcus straight from the deck podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, thank you. First of all, thank you for coming here and
Yes,
taking
thank
time
you.
out to be with us. You know,
Yes.
we talked about this. Thank you.
You.
Me and Mr. Marcus did a collab before in the past. So, a friend of mine.
Yeah.
I've known Darker for a while. Haven't seen her in a while, but she looked, it's been a long time. Look great. Glad to see you here. So glad for taking time out for us.
Yeah.
So, you know, before we get too deep in that, tell us about Straight from the Deck.
Oh no. I don't know. We keep it real. We talk about national issues, local issues, talk about things in our lives, talk about where we coming from and how we feel about things. I mean, the national issues affect us locally here too, especially with the election and Trump and all that good stuff going on.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that.
Also, we're not afraid to step into race-related issues, speak on topics directly, not necessarily push around and beat around the bush. We like to attack things straightforward. Everybody doesn't like it, but at some point you have to get real with yourself and each other.
Right.
I
like that. Speaking of that, can we take a moment in solidarity and put our hands up for the Montgomery Brawl?
Yes, Lord.
Shout out to the Montgomery Brawl.
In the voting.
Supporting chair, boy.
Oh, yeah. See?
What a moment to be. Boy.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Montgomery Brawl.
Yeah.
Shout out to the chairmaster.
Good time.
Shout out to that brother. You know,
Who knew
we
the
looking out for that brother.
voting chair was gonna come in?
know, right?
Bro, man, that was a time. That was an exciting moment. It was a come together moment for
Yes.
people. It was,
Yes.
it was
But
absolutely.
that lets you know that we can come together collectively.
Absolutely.
And so it doesn't have to be a fight.
Yeah.
We can be in anything if we put our minds together and work for one accord on different topics, political, religion, whatever. We can change
Yeah,
the economical system if we work together.
Absolutely. We're stronger together.
We
So
can start with one fight with a white boy.
Exactly.
yeah, all right. One at a time.
One at a
Right.
time.
United cheers. I'm
Ex-
telling you, everybody
United-
bring your cheer. We're like,
And listen,
Yeah.
the thing that was interesting about that video was like going through it was the roller coaster of emotions, right?
Mhm.
It starts off, you see the brother and the white man having a confrontation, and then my man pulls his hair off and flips it in the air. And it's
The back
all-
call.
it's a one-on-one, it's a jockey and a body back and forth, but then the second white boy jumps in.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem
Right,
starts.
the black person inside, he's like, wait a minute.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And the black people was on the boat like, to promised land. We on the way, baby.
You learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Brother, jump in the water. At that point, the white folks should have got there. They should have got there.
They should have got together.
When you see a brother swimming across a river to come get your white folks,
Yeah. But the thing about it, by the time the ferry got over to the side to dock, you know, the white people had gotten back on the boat, but the blacks said, "Oh, you remember what you just did?
in nobody's world, you gonna hold black folks up for 40 minutes because you refuse to move.
privilege. It's called privilege. Hey, they thought that privilege is gonna protect her. And I know some people made comments about the man hitting the lady on the side of on the head with the chair.
Well, she
But
hit first.
that privilege did not
She hit
stop that
first.
chair.
Right, it's a ride at that point.
That's right.
Smart enough to get out of ride. You
You
do
fought. But the women came in here. She was like, "No, bro, you don't do it. I got her. Just talk right on.
Yeah, you're right. So, yeah. Why we don't condone violence.
We don't condone it.
Sometimes violence is required.
But y'all even know they GoFundMe page. Because brother man got y'all
They did
they
it.
GoFundMe.
They got him. They arrested him, but I don't know if he's out.
He is out,
He's
baby.
out.
They
Okay,
got,
he's
he
out.
raised $300,000.
Okay.
They got him out the very next day.
Okay.
And so, you know, that's what I'm saying. So when he got arrested, everybody said, hold it, this, sit there for a minute. We coming to get you. We coming to get you. We got our people. We got him out. We got him out. And he charged with one count of I think disorderly conduct
Okay. Okay.
with the chick.
Okay.
So he earned it. Shout out to Reggie Ray. Reggie Ray.
That's his
Just
name.
one.
Yes,
Oh,
his
they
name.
just one, boy.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Just
they
one.
need to-
National hero.
Right.
That's right.
They need to
Yes,
get that
right.
brother some
Almost
stocks
I
and
ain't got
folding
time to
chairs.
put my hands on you.
Whatever folding chair stock is, the price is. They need to get him a cut. He need a cut. He need to cut it with all the sales from
Yes, he
folding
does.
chairs from
Yes,
that
he
point
does.
on.
From that point on, he need his money.
He did it. So speaking of that,
You
let's
need a
see.
manager copy. All I want is 20.
Speaking of black folk and black, blackness,
Oh,
we're gonna start here with a game for our guests.
we're back on this black and
Hold
black.
on, Dr. It's evident when the people look at us that I'm black.
And I'm black and black.
You.
I was born and raised in the Hamptons. I
But
don't know what
what
you're
high school
talking
you went to?
about.
Shut up. Yeah, Joe.
Wait a minute. Just because
Hey,
I
what Joe said?
was buzzed to Shamrock High School.
Yeah, okay.
But my school was Gordon High School, okay? Which is now McNair Junior.
What Google?
So-
You look ain't got Google down here. See,
Oh,
how to play Stuttering by Joe.
so don't go in the
What
hand.
Joe said? I can tell your lines.
Just because I went to a little right. Just because I went to a little right. Don't take my hood
Okay.
card.
Well,
I ate government
Okay.
cheese just like
you might not be the
y'all.
only one.
Don't
Yeah.
uh,
Mr. Marcus, he from Riverdale. You went to what? You went to Riverdale?
but he Riverdale.
Yeah, he went to Riverdale. That hood for her.
Before it was all black,
Oh, but by the time you left,
Riverdale was way different.
you believe that?
We got gentrified. We gentrified.
Right, gentrified. Right.
And wait a minute, Hamp is still sitting on Flat Shoals Road. How about that?
Well, the darker is from the deck. I'm gonna give her that.
True story.
But you went, what high school you went to? Padilla? Yeah.
I went to Padilla.
Yeah. She was smart.
I know.
You were-
Padilla.
Yeah. You smart. Right. So we're gonna see how black you are.
Over there.
Okay. So Dr. B, I'm gonna let you pull a card.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wait, what's the rules?
Okay, it's the rule. It's just a question.
Okay, who's going first?
Y'all want to collab together or y'all want to go separate? Ladies first. Okay, ladies first. This is probably an easy one for her.
All right. Question. How many movies did the rap group Kid and Play act in together? Was it A, 5, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 6?
Kid and Play. You remember Kid and Play?
Hola, hola, eh. Hola, eh. Roll, we can play now.
I'm gonna go 4.
You're going
Okay,
for
you going with
it. Find out.
C. You going with C.
It was 3 an option.
3 was an
3
option.
was an option.
All right, well, one of us gonna get it.
Okay. Y'all gonna get it wrong.
Hold on, let me see. I know a house party
Mhm.
and the other house party, and then class act. But 1 and 3 when they started bringing in immature on.
Oh.
But I think 3 they might have been in 3 though.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with 3.
You gonna go with 3?
I think you're right.
I'll still stay with 4, but it's probably 6. What's it?
Okay, the answer is 5.
Oh.
And since Mr. P is so blackety black, you give him all 5.
Please do.
There was the house party 1,
Mhm.
house party 2,
Mhm.
house party 3.
Mhm.
What was the one you said? Class act,
Mhm.
and then there was one more. The was class act was he's in school.
Mhm.
What's the last?
Mr. Blackety
I think it was a book. No,
Okay.
no. I knew it was 5. Was it class? Did you do 2 class acts?
Let's Google
Mommy's Googling.
blackety black.
You didn't know him. You didn't know him.
Revoke your card.
What was
I think it was 3.
What we
I
said,
think
Kid
it
and
was
Play.
4. What's the 4 kid house party?
Oh,
And then 1 class act.
Immature was in
it said bodyguard.
Bodyguard.
Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Yeah. No, it said they did. It said yeah, 5 Kid and Play movie. They did house party
Mhm.
1, 2, and 3.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Let me make sure I get them all.
Okay.
Can't get that research.
Yeah. It keeps saying class act, and then it keeps saying they did a They did a
2,
house. They did a bodyguards. I don't know what bodyguards.
but look there, look at that. That was house party. So I was right.
House what?
House party
They keep
one.
saying the bodyguard.
But it was 4 house parties in one class.
Four house parties.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I
So
think
they
I
must be
had.
related
I knew it
Like
was
that.
4. I knew it was
Okay.
4.
It was probably just a
Yeah, it must have been something like cameo that we
Yeah,
did. All right,
So
so
what's
Alright.
the verdict, though? What's the verdict?
we'll give y'all
You
another.
didn't get it right. You didn't get it right either.
Oh, I'm
So-
asking the question. I got it right. The question wasn't the name of it. It was just how many they got in there. All right, so
Of course.
go ahead. You hold on.
Are you on this one?
Okay.
Oh, they should be easy.
All right, here we go. Which historically Black sorority was founded first?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Was it A, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated?
No, ma'am.
Spelled wrong. B, Zeta Phi Beta. C, Alpha Kappa Alpha. Or D, Sigma Gamma Rho.
Marcus got to answer
I'm gonna see. I'm
that.
I understand, but yet and still, you know. 1913.
1913.
Delta Sigma Theta.
My sister gonna whoop me.
No,
No,
it was a half.
Okay,
It
I'm about to say.
was a, and so we got 2 sorority sisters up in here.
We ain't sorority sisters.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
We're in the hood.
Within the sisterhood.
And
Divine.
Divine now.
And then we got full educated Black folks. How
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, let's do one more. One more for the road. That was one
You
easy.
pick that
You want me to pick one?
one.
All
New edition.
right. That's the answer for everything.
Okay.
I don't
You can
know.
do that one.
Uh-oh.
What can we
I got nah, some of them yeah.
It was related to.
The same thing we
same
just
thing.
discussed.
Oh, okay. I know. That's easy. Go ahead.
Okay. Question. What is Mike Jones' phone number? Is it A, 867-5309? Is it B, 707-606-0842? Is it C, 777-93? Is it D, 281-330-8004?
It's the wait. What are the zip codes for the other ones?
What's B? What is zip code for B? It ain't
Area
Yeah,
code 707. 707.
That's not.
Okay, the other one is 777-9311. And then 867-5309.
It's gotta be 281. 281 Houston.
All right, 281.
I'm going 281.
Correct.
Teamwork.
There it is.
I knew one. I knew one.
You know that. You know that one.
And by the way,
We know, look, what was at the time? It was 777.
and that's all I gotta say. And just for everybody out there, go listen to 777-9311 if you want to hear one of the greatest guitar
Yeah,
solos.
yeah. Okay.
Get
Yeah.
from the bass and he wrecks it.
And you know what? They messed up the phone lines because people actually was calling and dialing that number back in the day.
Mhm.
It was a prank.
Yeah.
It was a prank. It was a band member's number.
Uh-huh.
That's the
It's
number.
the number. Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Well, I guess y'all keep y'all black card for the day. I see some blackness. I see some blackness coming out. I see y'all exuding some blackness. Okay. So we blacker, so we gonna call you black or darker brown, black or Mr. Mark. Okay. Appreciate that. All right. So let's get on to some of this craziness that's been happening, and we call it kind of off the wall. You look at your social media wall, you see this all over the place. El Presidente, the orange one.
He ain't no president.
No more.
He's number 45. Call it
Number
what it is.
45. So
No.
being that we from Georgia,
Mhm.
I feel like we're in a good place. We're like center of attention, just like when we flipped the state.
Yeah, we flipped it.
We ain't gonna get too deep in it, but let's speak a little bit about Trump on the indictment. I
On the
mean,
indictment.
right.
Okay. We knew this was coming.
Mhm.
And I'm happy Fannie Williams, shout out to her and her team and the grand jury. What, on all serious note, we need to let the legal system do what it do. Stop contacting those people who are jurors on the grand jury, threatening them. You're not gonna get anywhere. Stop that. This is democracy. I understand y'all have sat here and let Trump fill your head into believing that you can threaten people. Go to these black folks' houses if you want to with your threats. And you're going to walk over, but you're going to come out naked, or you may come out in a body bag. So it will behoove you to take this warning to leave the grand jury alone, because you're not going to do no intimidation. Now, let the systems have its just due. Y'all are sitting here, you're going after Bo Biden. What's his name? Did I say his name? Hunter Biden. You're going after him. I'm sorry, rest in peace, Bo. You're going after him, and you think that's okay. But going after a man who put our country at risk with our allies, and taking classified documents and putting them in places that people could see and steal our secrets, that should be an issue for anybody. Let it be. Let the courts do what it's going to do. This is not a hunt after Trump. He caused this. That's my feelings. How do you all feel about this here indictment?
I don't know. I mean, you get what you pay for. And, I think it's only a matter of time. And when you are dropping seeds of poison across the entire nation in order to remain president, I mean, you got to pay for that shit.
Yes.
You got to pay for it. And I think that, Fonnie Williams is one of many black folks, black women,
Mm-hmm.
who no one else is willing to be like, no, you can't do that. Real simple, straight, lay it out, got all her little ducks in a row. So shout out to the black women, the black folks who are willing to say no to the white folks who are out of control.
Exactly.
For me, I want to say first, I feel like the nation owes a debt of gratitude to the state of Georgia, because I can successfully argue with you that we wouldn't have a democracy at this moment if it wasn't for the state of Georgia. What I mean by that is Raphael Warnock, John Austin.
Right.
Those
That's
two
right.
Senate seats saved a whole lot of problems.
You did.
Then we turn around and we see that Fonnie Willis in Fulton County has decided that she's going to hold accountable probably the greatest threat to this nation as we've seen it in recent history. This is a man who successfully tried to start World War III in January of 2020. In case you've forgotten, he killed the head of the Iranian Royal Guard without any backstabbing, nothing. He literally sent the missile over there and killed the man in hopes that Iran would retaliate and attack Israel. And we know if that happened, what the end result of that was going to be.
Right.
That didn't work. So he enacted January the 6th. The thing that's bothered me about the whole Trump episode, if you want to call it that, is how white people seem to be so scared to hold this man accountable.
Yeah.
As black folks, we watch all of our heroes. Going back to Jack Johnson, Red Fox, James Brown. We've seen our heroes been taken down as if they were nothing. Although they've done nothing to and for this country.
Right.
And you took them down. You didn't think twice about it. You never wondered how the black community would feel watching leaders in the black community get killed by police. You went and did what you call law and order to secure this nation. This man by himself decided that all votes don't matter, because specifically Atlanta, Milwaukee, Detroit, Philadelphia, those were stolen votes. Those votes shouldn't count.
Right.
For black cities in this country. And if you look at who is holding him accountable, 2 black women and 1 black man.
Yeah.
This country owes black folks the greatest debt ever. And it owes Atlantans the biggest debt ever. And at some point, y'all gonna have to recognize that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna have to recognize it. Definitely. And my thing is too, when you catch someone cold-blooded on the phone saying, all I need is, and y'all have 11 times, he's telling you what he needs.
One more
right.
balls it takes to get on a recorded
line.
All I need from you
Yeah.
In case you don't know, that is
Right.
one more
Vote than I had. Yes, and you saying, oh, it's okay that, wow, it's a witch hunt. No, this man is illegal. If this had been a Biden or this had been an Barack, oh my God, these people stoned him. He had to wear the scarlet. Look, come on.
I got 2 points. Let me make
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pop.
2 points. You damn right it's a witch hunt. Excuse my French. You're damn right. It's political.
Pay for.
What do you mean? That's what they use it for. That's what politics is about.
Mhm,
I find some dirt on you. I find something bad about you to
Mhm.
discredit you,
mhm.
and I use that to put myself in a better position to win.
Right.
Now that it's being used against you, now it's all civilized and you sensitive.
Right.
You want sensitive?
Mhm.
Now you sensitive?
Openly advocating for Bill Barr to arrest Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Hillary
Definitely.
Clinton, Bill Clinton,
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
Yeah.
All of that is on television.
Yeah.
Marcus, they was worried about email
Thank you.
from Benghazi.
From two.
And information got classified documents and on the
And then
record.
you got
From email.
Listen, from 2015, these same people told us to fuck your feelings. Well, guess what? Fuck you.
What?
right. So now it is a witch hunt. So it's a witch hunt and it is political.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
political. Which
So now what?
I mean, to me, it's the pearl collection that bothers me.
Yeah. It's
Former
hypocrisy.
president in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Did he break
hypocrisy.
the law?
It's hypocrisy.
So I mean,
Donald Trump didn't do more for me than Red.
but Marcus,
son.
you got to think about it. Evidently, Trump had something on every last one of them
Yes.
because they are following him like a puppy dog. Like, we better back him because he gonna let them out that we took that money from, that was under the table, or he know about my
No.
mistress.
You know
some stuff.
you know who Trump is?
What?
If you watch The Matrix, Trump is Mr. Smith. He is Mr. Smith. He got that little bit of information and now he's corrupting the Matrix.
Yep.
He want to destroy the Matrix
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and they can't handle it. Now they want Neo to come in and save them.
Yep.
But they want to stay within the same construct, though.
Exactly.
They want to be outside the construct,
Right.
like inside the construct.
Right.
They want to have it both ways.
Yeah.
Try to have a foot on both sides of the aisle.
Yeah.
But you can't do that.
You can't do that.
No one's
Right.
built like that. You
Right.
ain't built like
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna work.
Right, so
Right.
it don't work. So you now, hey, accept this poison pill that you put in there.
Mhm.
Accept it. Don't swallow it.
Exactly,
It is what it is. And
Mhm.
I would never vote for Trump. I never support Trump, but I
Oh.
gotta thank Trump for exposing all them people
Yeah.
in the closet. I gotta
Yeah.
thank you, Trump, for letting them feel so comfortable
Mhm.
that they'll try to jump a black man by himself on the riverfront
Yeah.
doing his job
45 minutes
And
after they told you
and
move
felt
your-
like they could get away with it.
They felt like it.
Just our whole lives, all these generations, but finally they can see it.
Right.
White people can see other white people doing it.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't take themselves seriously.
Yeah,
They wouldn't-
Yeah.
they was.
But see,
So
they thought that our people were still living back in the 50s and the 60s. No, baby, we're not
No,
living in that
it
era.
is.
it's here.
We getting ready to show you. We're not getting ready to do that. That's why I said, y'all go to those grand jurors' houses if you want to. Whoever you hide behind the computer and not letting anybody know who you are, limp over to their house
Yeah,
and come over to our hood and see what we got for you.
right. So on yeah.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Because y'all ain't
Pretty
the
much.
only ones with guns.
Pretty
Black
much.
folk believe in NRA too.
Pretty much. So, thank
We
you.
got the
Trump,
right to bear arms.
for burning down the
legally.
institution. He burnt this institution down.
Yeah.
So it'll
He
He
never
burnt
be.
it down.
We're not gonna let him do that.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about the false political scheme that everybody thought
I think
existed. He's burnt that down.
All
They-
the integrity,
Yeah, all the morals that they
had.
thought that you had to have, that you had to be
Yeah.
outstanding about
You had to be
the
smart.
company, what do best, right? Do what's best for the company. He started, and the Sansa just following his suit.
Follow.
Sansa just scooted right on behind him and said
His
that. So,
sons ain't gonna make it. He just-
which is fine, but and he's exposed
the
him.
sons
So
need to sit down.
yeah, so
Go
We're done.
somewhere talking about that slave was for us
A
getting a
benefit.
trade.
yeah.
Mhm.
Come
Yeah.
on here.
Some slaves actually saw benefits.
Yeah.
Earned the
It's your
slave.
mama.
Exactly. And my thing is, we can even go more
Touch
deeper
my
than that.
pearls.
It's your mama see a benefit too.
Because my thing is, it takes a real
Who?
simple-
You talk about my ancestors who got their ass beat and killed and separated, and you think I care about his mama?
Because my thing is, if he even thought that out, just
Right.
a sentence past what he said. Yes, there were black
He
people
thought about it, Mark.
that
He knew
got
what he was saying.
skills that may have been tailors
No.
that opened a shop.
No.
And guess what? When they opened that tailor shop and it was successful,
They burned it
those
down.
same
They burnt it down.
Burnt it
Man,
They burnt it down.
every
They
time
it
we
down.
step forward,
Yeah.
y'all burnt it away from us.
Yeah, they burnt it down.
He go ahead and
They
sit down.
did it.
And
But
what
again-
is he anyway? What is his ethnicity?
That's what I'm saying. How you just
He ain't white. What is he?
Yeah.
Shoot,
So,
take several seats to the back.
Several.
Talk about my ancestors like that, and I can't talk about your mom.
you gonna register in Florida so you can vote?
I sure need to. You know I still.
Oh, don't tell Trump. You double dipping. You double dipping.
Oh yeah, double dipping.
That's what they did.
I know. Drive across the
And
line.
that's the one to get locked up for. Which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
One us.
What else?
And let me tell y'all another thing too. Y'all think y'all been on his side, and you think you getting ready to swing his supporters to you? That ain't gonna happen. Wake up, smell the coffee.
Especially if your name is Tim Scott.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bro, I know.
And you know,
Yeah.
he the main one when affirmative action was, they knocked
Yeah.
it down from the Supreme Court. Oh yes, this is a great day. How is it a great day when your ass benefited from it?
Literally.
How was it a great day when Thomas benefited from
Same thing as Thomas was talking about overthrowing interracial marriage.
Pretty
it?
much.
Exactly. Look. So loving act is getting ready to be, they're gonna touch that now. That's getting ready to be touched. So it's baffling to me that they sit here and think that, because they made it through affirmative action and they closing the door on others that are coming behind them. Now, only thing that I have to say,
They don't
my
wanna
sisters
compete.
and my brothers, I need for you all stop going to these PWIs.
They don't wanna compete.
Start going to the HBCUs. I want to talk to the billionaires. I want to talk to the millionaires. I want to talk to those influencers. Start investing in our schools and bring them up to par to these PWIs and let's educate. We have something that they want from us. We just shouldn't just be athletes. We should not just be
Well,
into
that's
that
what they
field.
want.
And our athletes stop going
Unfortunately,
to
they want
those
black
schools.
bodies.
That's the biggest point
They
right
want
there.
black bodies.
That's the power we have as our athletes.
Yes.
Black parents shouldn't let their kids go to school in Arkansas and Florida. If African American history is not worthy of being studied in those two
Right.
states,
Mhm.
African American athletes should not be playing on the field.
Yeah, on
in
the field.
those schools in those states.
Yeah, exactly. And affirmative action too. If you can't have affirmative action,
Let's say
yet my kids can't attend your school.
if diversity, equity,
If
and
NFL scholars want my children, you better go over to Southern University. You better go to Howard. You better go to Hampton. If you want to see my child.
We got too many, and now with the name, what's it, NIL rights where
Yeah.
kids can get paid now.
Yeah.
So HBC will get your money.
Get your money. They getting paid more now. What's the girl from LSU that just won? She
Got
didn't-
Amazon commercials,
Don't she?
everything.
They getting their money. Yeah.
She said she make more money in college than she
Yeah. And Angela too. The other girl from LSU. Go ahead, Barbie.
That's it. Get your money.
Get your money, go.
All right. All right. Flipping the script.
Yeah, I'm
We're
on
gonna
my
fed the
soapbox.
people with that.
Yeah, come on, let's roll.
We're going a little into the world of the petty.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Just a little petty.
I like the petty.
I see. Everybody like petty. Now, we've all been watching what's been happening on social media with Mr. Usher Raymond and his Vegas show. Usher been breaking up relationships since when?
He ain't
Confessions?
He has not
Confessions?
broken up
Oh no,
relationship.
he been breaking up happy homes.
He ain't breaking up happy
Usher been breaking up happy
He
homes,
ain't breaking up happy homes.
marriages,
He
everything.
ain't breaking up marriages either.
No,
He ain't
so
doing
I blame Usher.
No, I don't blame Usher.
I blame
No.
Usher.
He didn't.
Usher
Usher's fault.
ain't did nothing.
It's Usher's fault.
Usher.
But anyway,
How you say Usher? No, no, Usher. Usher. Usher.
it's his fault. But anyway,
Watch this.
an event happened with Keke Palmer, baby dad,
Mhm.
and he, I got it.
And
He
he's feeling-
lost. He took the L. Going to social media. I'm going to describe it like
How
this.
you gonna do that?
Keke Palmer, baby daddy, got in his feelings
Mhm.
because she was at
Cheeks out.
Usher's. I don't know if it mattered. You think the cheeks smell? He tried to make it about the cheeks.
What was the thing? What was the thing?
He tried to make it about the way she was dressed.
Yes.
Okay, so
At the
it was
Usher
cheeks, it was
concert.
The lace, it was.
Yeah, I think he's thinking it was the outfit.
That's the story.
So I think that's what he's using it as an excuse.
That was the low hanging fruit.
That was low hanging fruit.
He felt like everybody was gonna jump on his side.
Right. So he felt he was justified making a comment about her out in Vegas with her girls. She just had a baby with how the baby's like 4 or 5 months.
Mhm.
So she getting over her mom by doing whatever. So she at the Usher concert and Usher singing to her. Usher breaking up happy homes like he do. That's what his job is.
I mean, he's literally professional.
Right, that's what his job. He did it.
Problem.
Baby daddy post on social media. Social media went crazy. It divided people on different sides. Now he tried to use this excuse that she's a mother, and as a mother, you shouldn't dress a certain way. So we're not even arguing that point. We're not even gonna go back.
I agree.
We're not even gonna go back and argue the point. So that's not the
Why do you
the point.
think this? Okay.
Right. Why
I
do
want
think
you to
that-
hurry up, land this plane.
No, I'm just saying. That's not the point.
So I come on in.
That's not the point.
Let's get to it. So,
Okay, after that died down, this is why I blame Usher. Usher has a song. What's the song called? Boyfriend.
Mhm.
Usher and Keke Palmer do a collab where she's a video vixen in his video about boyfriend. So she only Keke stuck the knife in there and then she turned it. Now that's petty. Is it not petty?
it was petty. She capitalized.
You think she capitalized?
Hell.
Yes, it's funny, but you don't think it's petty?
Petty. Okay, are you saying that she's like poking fun at her dudes?
She is. Now they broken up since
Or
then.
poking fun like at the situation and reactions. that
I
people
think she-
have, or she's going after her dudes.
Oh, she going after her
She's
dude.
going after dudes.
She going after Duke because at the end, did you see the video? Anybody see the
I've
video?
not seen the whole.
Watch the video. But at the video, she says, and by the way, I'm a mother, so she made a comment about specifically about what he said. Look at that. Look,
Funny.
this
It's
one for you.
funny.
Look here. Look here.
It is petty.
Look here. Look here. First of all, she at the concert. They're celebrities. This is what they do. They go bucket damn naked. They just call it what it is.
Who go butt naked?
A lot of
Celebrity?
the celebrities go bucket naked out here. They don't care about being no baby mama and all this stuff. This is what they do. He's gonna put on a show. He's gonna make sure that his name stay relevant in the news. She's gonna make sure her name stay relevant in the news. And look what we're doing. They getting it. They making it do what they wanted, what they set out to do for us to continue to talk about it.
Mhm.
First of all, if you're the boyfriend, you ain't the husband, baby. Take you some seats to the back as well, sugar, because you ain't put a ring on it. And therefore, when you
That's
wipe
why-
her up, she will then be that wife and then be more mannerable. She is a mother, but number one, she's a woman first, sweetie. And she's going to enjoy her sexuality, her body, as she should. Being a mama don't mean that she got to go out here and hide her body for you. Okay? That's called a little thing of control, which we ain't going to talk about. So, so Keke can do whatever the heck she want because she's not obligated to you, baby. And so therefore, Usher ain't breaking up no happy home. He is doing what entertainers do. He's staying relevant.
Y'all other baby mama better try that. He go oops upside your head. Now you ain't Keke Palmer. Don't be trying to act like you Keke Palmer. Now you know that boy go upside your head. So don't be trying to be like
we're talking
Keke Palmer.
about celebrities. Now, first of all,
But you don't think
First of all,
people in
if I go out and Usher grabs on me and I'm out there bucket naked, first of all, it ain't gonna be advertised because what? Ain't nobody caring about me. Ain't no celebrity.
Oh,
He's a celebrity.
your friends gonna see it. Your baby daddy gonna see it.
Look, what
You think
goes
your baby
on in Vegas stays in Vegas. And if I see you post or something, you are no longer my
It didn't
friend.
stay in Vegas.
You might as well go ahead and delete my name and number from
Bro,
the Rolodex.
It didn't stay in Vegas. Look, this is what Vegas. Y'all be all over
You
social
got
media.
what I'm saying?
And there you have it.
There you have it.
How
Because if
many
we gonna go,
how many Vegas
don't you
videos
be,
on
first of all,
Black.
you need to take everybody that's on phone. You don't have your phone. You can't record a
Dr. B gonna
daggone
get
thing.
y'all oops upside y'all
No,
head. Y'all
Dr.
better
B
be
ain't.
listening to Dr. B.
No,
Dr. B ain't gonna come
No,
rescue you when that
because
man
when you
going
got
upside
true
your head.
friends, when you got true friends, they ain't gonna sit there and record.
You know your man.
You know.
You know
And
your
first of
man.
all, my group is small, so y'all.
I ain't say you, Dr.
So,
B.
Carlos, what exactly is it that you saying?
I'm just saying, know your person.
What that mean?
That means if you know you're dealing with an
Insecure
sensitive,
nigga.
well, I ain't gonna call the brother all that.
But
I'm just saying. I'm
That's
saying.
what it is.
That's not what we talking about.
First of all,
Insecure.
all I'm saying is
Oh, let me
know
stop using the
your.
word.
You're right. Know your person. Know your person. That's
What
all I'm
Snoop Dogg
saying.
called up my
I'm
cousin.
gonna say it like The Rock. what my brother should have done was know his role.
Yeah.
And shut his
That's what you could have did.
That's what he messed up. 'Cause my thing was, he was winning up until the point he sent the tweet.
Right.
He worked for her.
Uh-huh.
He lived with her.
Right.
She had his baby.
Right.
He was gonna get child support, alimony, all that.
Exactly.
Right.
Play your role, baby. Play your role. Uno,
You know what he had?
I won.
He killed him. All he had to do was not hit tweet.
Yeah.
If he didn't send me
Let
that
me
tweet,
tell you.
it's like he told me right now.
Let me tell you, Mark.
But that-
Sometimes when you want to get that frustration out, it's okay. Type it up, but don't send that shit.
Don't send it to
I've
me.
done that too. You
That-
type it out and you wait for a second,
Yeah.
just like feel it,
Yeah.
and it's like no,
Yeah.
like think about it for a second before you hit send.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all he had to do.
Then you, ooh, you
Yeah.
feel so
Yeah. Just typing it out can do so much.
But you know what? He had to be the man. He had to be the man. And he
But
had
then
he had to help her because she had her cheeks out.
Yeah.
So his thought was, she got her cheeks out, she already wrong. That's my baby mama. She got a child.
You said, see what the name, baby mama.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Baby mama. Oh, look. It's spelled different.
Exactly.
It's spelled different.
And
Ooh, hello.
His mom living in the house.
Yeah.
And she gonna do what I want her to do.
No, you found out. She's the breadwinner. She
Look, you better put a ring on.
know your place.
Big
No,
difference.
Know your
To be a
place.
devil's advocate.
What's your devil?
To be a devil's advocate, look out for that, brother.
Nah.
Look now.
Okay.
Everybody ain't dating. He the only one dating Keke Palmer.
Mhm.
I don't know what role she let him play in their household. She set that brother up. I'm She set that brother up. She set that brother up.
She did.
It's all publicity stuff. That's all them celebrity want. She said they planned this whole thing from the beginning. Usher already had the video idea. It's a setup, bro. It's a setup. Usher already had this plan. He already made the video. He planned it.
Look,
They had the bag. That's on too bad.
she's doing what? What? Monopolize.
That's what I said.
Then you get that money time.
I said it was a plan.
And she is too.
It was a plan. She keep playing. She got that baby body. Cause she always been small. She got a little thick on it. And she's like, oh, I'm finna turn this around. Then she finna get these sexy roles. She gonna be doing her sex scenes and everything. It's a setup.
But it's beautiful because that's a woman to control her own destiny. She literally took the situation, flipped it upon herself, and made money out of it. You gotta love it, man. The game is changed.
Yeah.
But again, y'all ain't Keke Palmer.
True.
And y'all baby daddy ain't that boy. So
And first of all,
I
Men
don't
have been
try that at home.
and men have been doing it for years.
Yeah, well, I ain't talking about men.
Rise up, sisters.
I'm saying know who your person.
I don't agree with the brother all the time, but I will say Steve Harvey summarized that situation perfect. He said, don't try to give a lifestyle to a boy that he ain't earned.
That's right.
That man ain't earned
that lifestyle. That's right.
And that's why he
That's
jumped
right.
out.
That's right. Jumped out of
Because
pocket.
he didn't know.
Mhm.
And now he knows that big mansion,
Yeah.
those nice
Oh,
cars.
no.
Yeah. Now he making maybe $20, $30 an hour. And
Now
realize
you're going
the
back
shit
to
ain't sweet.
$20 now.
Think he might better get a UPS job.
Exactly. Okay. Union.
Well, I'm just saying.
What's
I'm
our
sorry,
next
brother.
topic? We sorry, bro. We can't help you no more. What's the
Yeah.
next
But I'm
topic?
just saying to the other people, your baby mama ain't Keke Palmer, and don't try that either on the fella side.
And for women,
Don't buy care of your
do
baby
not
mama out
put
there
your
with that.
friends out there on video.
And fellas, go to the.
Keke did that though.
Okay.
So
Go
you
with your
telling me I need to book a ticket, bro?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
No, you don't.
what?
Don't book no
Miss Mark
ticket.
said I need to book a
You
ticket.
don't book
My
no
wife
ticket.
going to see Usher in
No,
October. I need to book a
she
ticket.
don't need you there. She got it.
Cause she know who her man is.
That's
Ain't that
right. That's right.
She know who her
She
man
got a
is.
solid foundation. That's right. That's right.
She know how oops upside her head. No.
Doing turn a little
Nah,
flip bird thing, boy.
Look, it's
Right.
spirit. You need to take that spirit juice.
No. I'm just joking. She know I'm joking. We don't do violence over here. None whatsoever. We just do dirty looks. That's it. That's as far as we gonna go.
Keep it moving. Keep
I'm
it
just
moving.
saying, that's as far as we gonna
Okay,
go. We gonna give dirty looks though. That's it.
All right.
We not what Martin said. We ain't go all with the physical.
Oh Lord, do I need to go get the Vaseline?
No, we not all with the physical. We not doing the physical over here.
Put all the Vaseline on.
Yeah. All right. So let's start getting into these topics real quick.
Yes,
So
let's
I'm
do
going
these
to caveat this and show y'all a video that we're going to be discussing and get your take on it. Speaking of marriage and baby mamas and not marriage. So our first topic is marriage just a certificate. So let me show y'all what? Why you making
It's
a face?
marriage just a certificate.
Is it just a certificate? So
No, it's not.
I'm just saying. So let me share my desktop with the peoples so they can
But
see.
we're gonna let our guests speak on it.
Okay, they can speak on it. I'm gonna show
Because
the
you know,
video.
I have my opinion.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah, I know I gotta be biblical.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna show two videos.
Show me.
Okay, let me show
Okay.
two.
Set
Let
it
me
up.
show this.
Set it up, partner.
Let me show this first one.
Okay.
Let me see if I tired the screen. Let's do this right.
So my PC started freezing.
Yeah, see, we don't have one.
Look, y'all don't be jinxing us now.
Nah, we good.
That cause that be coming straight from the deck. That ain't over here straight
Right
talk.
by now, the deck started freezing.
Straight from Davey Frozen. All right, so this is the first. I'm gonna show the first two videos. All right, so here's the first one.
Why do you need white man paperwork? Lord.
Yeah, I heard that one.
Wait,
Why? That's that one.
Yeah, that's that
Oh.
Okay, let me show you the next one. Why you need white man paperwork?
paperwork. Lord Jesus. Okay.
Mhm.
He was there.
He was serious. Let me show y'all this other one.
White man.
This one goes into it. This is the one that really piqued my interest about it. Why do you need white? Okay, let's get this other one. Make sure I get y'all the right one. Here we go. Ooh, this one right here. I don't know how women fall for it,
Stevie
but
Bags.
yeah, Stevie Bags, y'all see him? He do like Country Wayne videos and stuff like that.
He used to play football.
Yeah, he played football, and then he you know who Country Wayne is?
No.
Oh,
Oh, wait, he's a dancer guy?
No,
Oh,
the
he's
comedian.
So funny.
Comedian, country.
Oh,
Country Wayne. He got a whole bunch of shows like but
And
he's
he
on
did
social
wilding out.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. I don't watch
he just did, yeah. So let's play him real quick.
Before I had a birth certificate, I'm gonna die before I have a death certificate. So I don't need a marriage certificate to validate my connection with you. But society says this.
Hold on, you about to piss all the women off right now.
I can piss them
already
off.
know.
They need to hear it.
I already know you about to piss them off right now. Because we
it.
done had this conversation before. We had a brother who said that same thing. Who said that he didn't want his marriage and his connection and his, the sanctity of the marriage itself to be validated by the government and so on and so forth. Which I get that, but a lot of women they don't really. That's a false sense of security
can
for
have
them. Your
paperwork.
word alone is just a false sense of security.
We can have paperwork. We can have an insurance policy to make sure you straight if something happens to me or vice versa. We can create our own contract. I won't even. I hate the word contract. That's what it is. The prefix to contract is con. I want a covenant. The contract, bro. I'm tired of contract. We are covenant people, bro. And because we have not been standing no covenant, that's why these things don't work for us.
All right. So what is your response to that?
Because Marcus, you're married. And I don't know,
I just feel like
is it a con?
I feel like that brother just learned a new word. More shit to me. Maybe I'm a traditionalist, but I don't necessarily I kind of get I don't want the white man in my stuff, but the government is the government. Things kind of are what they are. If you want to have insurance, you want to have a house, you want to do certain things as an adult, you need a marriage license to do said things. So unless you're going to change the world and perception of the world some kind of strange way through your learning of the word covenant, get the damn contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, for me, I feel like it could go either way. For me, I mean, I completely understand this idea of covenant, and I appreciate there is a difference between a covenant and a contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that a covenant can be more personal and more intimate and more decided upon between two people. And it's some benefits out here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you get a marriage license and if you are married, there are 1,500 some benefits, 1,200 benefits to being married. So it's like whether or not you want to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you're willing to give up if you don't play? What is it that you want to partake in if you do play, right? But I believe in benefits. So being able to pick the kid up from school or have something to say when medical or whatever, money, those kinds of things. There's a benefit to having somebody you can put on paper that can speak for you or do or say the things that need to be done in an official capacity. Yeah, but I mean it could go either way. I think it really depends on how you see your relationship, how you want to apply your relationship out in the world. But if you're not married, you're gonna have some struggles with certain things. Like one thing I don't agree with what he was saying, like, oh, we could have like insurance.
Mhm.
Can you get insurance if someone isn't your official benefactor? Like, no, there are actual legal benefits. So, like those things you have to keep in mind.
And not to interrupt, but not even
No,
get too far off topic, but with today's Supreme Court, you really don't know what benefits are going to be here from one day to the next. You know, when we were actually in a situation where we're talking about getting rid of same-sex marriages, we're talking about getting rid of interracial marriages. So you need paper and as much of it as possible because we don't know what rights are going to be guaranteed to us from one Supreme Court session to the next at this point.
That's right. And the paper don't mean you're gonna have the right.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a cop out that men use to drag women along.
Mhm.
I can't see how you, again, unless you had a negative experience with it. If you coming from your negative experience, you've been married before and you're like, oh, I ain't getting married again. That's okay. That's from your experience. But now for you to try to argue it's about a contract, you played in the NFL.
You signed the
contract.
You signed the contract.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So you signed the contract.
And you were a puppet
You
for the
signed the
NFL.
contract with a shoe deal, and you trying to apply. You trying to use this covenant thing, and then from the biblical aspect of it,
That binded you.
it is. It's marriage is a.
So are
Dummy.
you saying that you feel like any man that says that the getting a marriage and doing the contract is just a white man stuff, like that's just a dragging a woman on? Like
I can't say
whatsoever.
any man,
Okay.
but I would say the majority of the men who apply this,
Mhm.
like you said, fully shit, using it to drag women along or not to commit to one woman, because literally it is for me, and I'm just speaking from a married
I
man.
was gonna say, 'cause you're married, so
Right.
how do you feel?
Speaking from a married man, this is the ultimate commitment because it means for me, I take it just that seriously. So you know, if you're not ready to do that and put that to one woman, to me, you full of it. You're leaving her exposed. You don't care about her.
And the problem is
Because you're not trying to protect her. You're not trying to put that's like you're not trying to put an insurance policy on her.
right. But you'll go out there and run around with other chicks, you know what I'm saying? Do everything you want to do, but you won't secure what she needs.
Yes. You're not
because
putting
you worried about the street, man.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's what I feel like it's a cop out because you're not
No
because,
commitment.
because literally
You do not want to.
if you're talking about it's not covenant, you using that's a biblical word.
It's a word.
That's a biblical word and it's a biblical meaning behind it. So you can't put her covering on there and then leave her without no insurance.
Right.
Or leaving her out that marriage to that insurance, like you said, because literally if you don't have that marriage certificate, your mama can come in, make decisions, your sister, your next of kin, anybody can come in
You've seen it happen.
and make those decisions.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if you're saying you're covering this woman for life, you're committed to her for life, why not make it official on paper?
Sure.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So that's my part of when I feel like people doing it. And we talked about this earlier. I feel like the women who buy into it have drunk the Kool-Aid. They've drunk the Kool-Aid.
I don't know about this.
I think they've drunk the Kool-Aid.
But you're assuming that every woman who has heard this concept heard it from a man.
I think men started this bullshit.
So
We did talk about that.
Yeah,
We talked about that earlier.
I was a kid. I'm talking about like under 15. Kid. I believe that like marriage really is between two people. You really don't need that additional piece to like certify that like you're married. And like I'm an only child. I didn't grow up around a bunch of dudes, uncles talking about a bunch of shit. It's like I came up with that by myself. So like no, I didn't learn that from anybody. I damn sure didn't hear about it from no man. For me, it was about the validity of the government, about the system and the certificate. Same thing my old boy was talking about.
Right. Let me ask you this though. That was before you became a mature woman. As you became a mature woman and you understood the benefits of it and all the other things that you would be giving up without that level of protection, did that sway you or that didn't matter? It was just a fundamental principle that you felt that couldn't be changed.
I mean, you can't argue with the fact. I mean, there are benefits.
Right.
I mean, like literally, there's like it's in the thousands, like 1,000+ benefits that you
Right.
get from being married. So like, if you're thinking logically, making sure people are covered, like and making sure like all the things you're not thinking about, all the unintended consequences, like I think it's a no-brainer. But at the same time, I don't think it's necessary to validate. Like for instance, I had a conversation with some folks about like like changing your last name in marriage, like how important it is to change your last name in marriage. And like for me, changing your last name in marriage is more really for other people to be able to identify whether or not your family is intact, whether like you just like you all know you're intact, but like the name helps other people know that you're intact. Like I don't really think that's necessary. Like I feel like if I were to ever get married, I wouldn't have a problem having a hyphenated name. Like
What you want him to have a hyphenated name?
not necessarily. I don't even have to change my name. Like really, at the end of the day, the marriage again, it's like the benefits, but it's not about the names. Like I get the benefits, but I keep my name. It's really for me. It's not for the rest of the world.
Let me ask you a question, because we had this conversation, my wife and I. It was a point for us before we got married. What if he wanted that?
Wanted to hyphenate.
No, if he wanted you to have his last name, what about what he wants?
What about it?
Doesn't it matter?
I mean, there could be a conversation about
Yeah, so there'd be a
it. I mean,
conversation.
it's not gonna be the end all be all.
No, it's not an end all be all because he can't make you do anything.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're able to do something that he asks of you,
Mhm.
is that outside of the realm of
Is there a longer list of other things that he also asked? 'Cause I
No,
can choose from
we're
this
talking
list.
about
It
this
has to be,
specific
like, the
thing.
one thing on the one list.
we're talking about this specific thing.
But that's a pretty big thing too, though.
It was.
Huge thing. It's
Well,
your identity.
But it's a huge thing for the men. Some men too.
Why?
Because let me explain to you.
Please.
Okay, for me, when we talk about this covering thing, for me, when I was thinking of marriage, and some of my stuff has matured and changed, but when I was thinking about getting married and I wanted to get married, my last name represents covering for me and everybody that I was responsible for. Not because I'm trying to carry over my dad's last name, because that's not even his dad's last name, but it's part of my identity. So everybody who I'm responsible for, and then in my household, I wanted to have my last name. So there would be no questions, and everybody knows that I'm protecting. This is my covering. This is who I'm protecting of. This is who I'm for. So that's what it meant to me. Now,
So I appreciate you explaining it that way because I had not necessarily thought of it that way. But I would say, in the context of our conversation, you don't need a name to do that. Just like you don't need a certificate.
you don't, but
that you're married.
you don't
So,
need it. But
yeah.
if it means something to me, and you can do it for me,
I could.
right? That's what I'm saying. So for me, it represents that to me. For me,
Yeah.
it brought me closer because it lets me know it takes, and that's a me thing. You know what I mean? That might have been my insecurity. It might have been something like that made me feel better as a husband and gave me pride a moment. And it's probably ego too, like you said, but
Yeah,
it's all a
I'm
part of
saying,
that.
Is that necessary?
It's not necessary, but it made me. I felt a lot better and feel a lot better that everyone in my household shared the same name.
Did y'all have a name conversation?
We didn't, but I don't think she was worried about it one way or another. We can ask her.
Yeah.
Because I guess, I don't know. It's not, I don't know. I look at it like from a big picture standpoint, right? Like the whole question was, he was saying, it's a covenant for me. Why does it have to be a contract? Okay, well, the world dictates it needs to be a contract. And if you love her and you want to be in a bound relationship with her for the duration of your life, why is what that relationship called a problem? I.e., if she wants to be married and you want to be with her for the rest of her life, is it that much are you giving up anything by getting into a contract? It might be against what you quote unquote think, but do you love her? All right, you love her. That's what she wants. Gets married. And the flip side of that is, okay, we're married now. I would like you to have my last name. I married you because it's for life. So can I ask you to carry my last name for life so the world knows that we are paired together for life?
Did y'all talk about hyphenation?
We didn't, but I don't think she was in. I think if we did, I don't think she was interested. But if she wanted to hyphen her name, it wouldn't bother me as long as my last name was part of her last name. As long as the world knows that's my wife, well, that's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've been Lindsay Harper my whole life. I'd be this way.
That was my wife. That was my wife thing. It was an identity, and she's off camera if y'all don't know. But she did it, and then I could understand what she was saying, and we went back and forth about it. And her grandma said, "It doesn't matter, as long as y'all love each other." But for me, it was a really stickler point, and it would probably bother me a long time. I probably may have eventually gotten over it. I don't know. She did it, and it was just interesting to me. Even like her mom and her aunts tried to corner me in a room one time. And I was like, no, I'm not having that conversation. I'm not having that conversation with y'all. Y'all not fit. I'm smart enough to know that it's me and all y'all know I cannot defend mine. I know of that. So, but she did it. And again, I don't know at this point. You know, she'll have to answer that for herself if that's, you could ask her that. But now, you know, she's did it. It was funny too, because when we first got married, her mom would send stuff with both names on it. And, you know, and I thought it was interesting. It was kind of petty.
Mother's no mother though.
But her mom changed her last name to her dad's name. That's how I was like, that mom was kind of petty. I was like,
that's her baby though. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
Baby. And she
I get it, but
one thing all her life. So that's all she
but as a father of a daughter, I know that my daughters are gonna be eventually there's a chance that they will change their name to their husband. Then he's responsible for her.
Mhm.
But you know, while they're still in my name, I feel like I'm still responsible for him. But now you've taken his name, he's responsible for you. So that's how I felt about it. Now
Dr. V,
Right.
she's bubbling over there.
she's bubbling. Oh, she agreed with me. She agreed with me.
I'm gonna tell her.
She agreed with me.
Do you?
You ready?
Go ahead, Dr. B. She
All right,
agreed with me.
let me tell y'all something. Yeah, from the biblical standpoint,
Mhm.
what he's talking about is some bull.
They
First of all,
got that in the Bible.
there was a covenant with Jesus Christ in us. So with that covenant, you know, when he died on the cross, he made a covenant for us that gave us salvation and grace. So why wouldn't you want that covenant in marriage? And he said, a man that findeth a wife findeth a good thing.
Mhm.
So, yes, you need that covenant. That husband is supposed to cover his wife and take care of his wife. We need the contract, whether you want to call it a contract or covenant. What God has made with us was a covenant, which is considered a contract. So what is he talking about is just junk, because you want to live and do and what you want to do and not be obligated to what the word says. And when God died for us on the cross, we became his. We are heirs to the throne. So that means, yeah, our nature changed, everything changed. So when you get married, your name changes because he is now head of the household. You're part of the Barnes family. You're part of the Wiseman family. You're part of whatever family you have married into. So that holds weight. God honors covenant. He honors contract. And we have come into a society that we are not honoring that anymore because we want to sleep with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Susie, and Sally, and you don't want to commit yourself to one. And a man that does not want to commit to you is not disciplined enough to keep his, you know what, in his pants. So why would you want to be with him, ladies?
I want to raise a point.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
And it's not, I agree with everything you said. I think, though, culturally, as men, and Paul probably agree with me on this, I don't know why this is, but as men, and especially black men, we are raised to be adverse to commitment. And that's from the time we little boys.
That
And
became,
I don't know if it's just
you know where it
community.
came from. It came from us slavery. You have to go back. And so therefore the mentality has not changed because you have not seen the nucleus of a marriage.
Exactly.
You have not seen the nucleus of a man and wife in the household. And therefore, because they messed up the dynamics of our family, so we don't know that to be. But the white people know that to be.
Amen.
And you see them commit even though they get divorced, don't they?
Right.
But
Right.
we're the ones who are messed up mentally.
And we'll fight
So,
our whole lives.
And we
against
will fight against it because we don't know what that picture looks like. So if you don't know what a picture looks like, if you don't have a demographic or a diagram, you won't know, sweetie.
Right.
You will be lost.
it. Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So we won't commit. My daddy was running around. So how do I know what he's supposed to do? How do I know the roles? How do I know how to be a man? So it's number one, it's also we don't know. Number two is fear.
Because I mean, if
Because it's the unknown.
we're talking from the time you little boys. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. It's like, don't be in love. Ooh, you love such and such. She got you wrapped around her finger. Like so much of our culture is so much inclined on not having a strong
take
one-on-one relationship
Right.
with somebody you love.
right, take it
Oh,
all the
of
way
course,
back
of
to
course.
slavery because our loved ones, our ancestors were not able to love. And when they did love, it was separated. So then you talk about, oh, love. Oh, what is love?
Right.
You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
You know, because in fear of being separated from the one, a man or woman that you love.
It's probably easier to never love than to be separated from the one you love.
Exactly.
Voluntarily.
Exactly.
I let somebody try to take my wife, put her
And
on
if,
the phone.
and if you don't have a blueprint, you're lost. And so that's why it's time now for married couples to take a stance. And with this stuff here that they're talking about, a covenant and not a covenant, but talking about a contract, we need to be talking about, no, marriage is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing. And if you get the right one, you can do amazing things with that. You know, but if you don't know it, then you're gonna think, oh, that ain't for me. It's the white man's thing. No, it ain't a white man's thing. You just want to be what you want to do. You want to sleep with everybody around town. Go ahead, Lynn.
I agree with everything that you said. There was one word that you used where I like, ooh, just a little bit. Ooh. When you said head of household, that struck me. That I have feelings.
Why can't you let the man be the head of the household?
Why? What let?
Mm-hmm.
What's this verb let about?
No, the let means is we can, as women, we have become in society the ones who've been the breadwinner. Now, why would you want that out of order? The man is we're really out of order in society. It's the man that's supposed to work, and we're supposed to really be home doing what we're supposed to do, nurturers and backing our husbands and making sure that we are meeting their need. But things have changed. Things have changed. But yet and still, he still needs to be the head of the household. I don't care how much money we make. We'll never be a man. We'll never go through what they have gone through. So we need to be supportive to them. And they need to come home, regardless if you're making 6 figures and they making 5 figures. They should still feel head.
I have feelings or problems with gender roles.
Why?
Okay.
I think that gender roles are more chains than lanes, if that makes sense. And I think that those lanes have been predetermined by people that know nothing about my life and aren't necessarily connected to my experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But gender roles, I want to know, because I said head of household doesn't mean that you letting him run over you.
No, not
You know, so
necessarily.
because a lot of people think that, because we deal with submissive.
But
We talk about
where I'm
submissive
coming
there.
from, I'm a much more of a fan of partnership.
Oh, it can be a partnership all day long, but at the end of the day,
benefits in
Right.
partnership versus a hierarchy. That's what I'm getting.
it still can be a partnership, but you still need to know that he is head.
Why?
He is head of the household, because what are you going to do when somebody come in and break in the house? You going to run? You going to, what?
So that is a scenario.
Yeah,
There's
but I'm
multiple.
just saying, no. Let's deal with the A scenario. No, we're going to go with that one,
Why?
because I can go with numerous now.
But why did you choose that one?
I just use that as an example.
That
That's
that
just one.
A leadership.
That's
position.
just one. So
Yeah.
when a man comes over to the house, he knocks on the door, and your husband's at the house, and he's confronting you. What's the first person you gonna call? You ain't gonna stand there and deal with. You gonna call your husband.
Yeah, but why?
No, that's my second scenario.
Okay, that's fine. But why are these the first ones that you're putting forward?
But I'm just saying, this is just off the rip. I'm just giving you an analysis. So he's still head of the house. So you're not gonna deal with that
in
man.
those scenarios.
Yeah.
But there are multiple.
Give me one where you can handle that.
Well, I said partnership.
No. Give me
but
one
what I
that you can
said-
handle that.
What I said was
Mhm.
was partnership.
We gonna still be partnership. You still be partnership because you still got to be one. You are one, and you're still gonna talk to your husband, and he's gonna talk to you over some things. So it's still a partnership. However, he's still the head of the
Oh,
household.
but in what capacity?
Let's,
Go ahead.
All of
Okay.
them. Just
well, let's say, okay, there's a disagreement, but a decision has to be made.
Mhm.
Who's make the final say, and who has to live with the consequences of it?
Well, it depends. That is way too general.
No, okay. Say for instance, you want to move you want to stay in DeKalb County. He wants to move to Rockdale. Y'all have to move to Y'all have to move. The house is sold. You guys like the house in Rockdale. You like the house in DeKalb County. he ultimately said, I think for our family, the best position for us to be in the future, looking forward to be in Rockdale.
Okay.
You gonna go with that and good, or you?
Well, based on what evidence? And
Well,
what
it might be.
evidence?
He might list some evidence
Just
that you
the
might
simple
agree with.
fact that you're my husband
And you
is
might not
enough.
agree.
Right, but I'm just
Like, you
saying
gotta do better
you're
than that.
not going to agree 100% across down the line. There's not going to be a happy compromise in every decision that you have to make, but a decision has to be made. And then if you guys gonna agree to disagree, but a decision has to be made. So are you? And it's really come down to a trust thing. Are you going to trust that you may not see maybe what he sees, or agree 100% in what he sees, but are you going to? I guess this is the submit part or the
There'll be no
trust part.
submission.
Okay,
I miss me.
that's what I'm saying. So when a decision has to be made, y'all just not gonna make a decision.
You just gonna say where you
Based
are.
on the scenario that you propose, you have not given me enough details. To be able to
Well,
answer.
there's gonna be 10,000 details, but I'm just saying ultimately a decision has to be made, and you disagree.
Yeah.
Mhm. Based on what you've given me, just the simple fact that you are my husband is not enough to make me go with you.
Okay, no, I'm just saying.
That's-
I'm
That's all you
yeah,
gave
but
me.
that's what I'm
That's all you
saying.
gave
So yeah, you just stuck there. You're not gonna make a decision.
You didn't give me enough details.
It doesn't matter what the
Oh,
right.
Based on your hypothetical, no.
It doesn't matter so y'all not gonna make a decision.
Your hypothetical is way too basic. There's
No, but
nothing-
I'm just saying we can go into a whole list of things and put it down, but you may not necessarily agree. So he has to convince you to trust in what he's saying. He has to. That's what I'm saying.
Anybody have to convince you? I need to have an argument. This is
No,
the best thing.
But
No,
you married
no,
him and you
not-
trust him.
I trust.
Yeah.
I trusted my wife. If she tells me this is what she feels like it is, yeah, and I hope she trusts. And for me, she might not agree or can see everything that I see or see it the way I see it. But if a decision has to be made,
I don't know. I need data versus opinion.
well, you can't. Everything can't. I mean, this is all opinion because we don't have a real life scenario that we're
Right.
dealing with that we can list out there.
Exactly.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If ultimately you come down to this, he has to give you 10 things versus your 5 things, and then you'll say, okay, we'll go with this because your 10 things outweigh my 5 things. Is that how the decision is made in your mind?
Wait, who has 10 things? And who
He
has
does. He has 10
Why
things.
do I only have 5?
It's just in this scenario. It's just in this
You
scenario.
know what? We thank you. Thank you. We
It's
love
just in
you.
this scenario.
Marcus.
No. What I'm saying, what I'm trying to say is you say you want data specific. He has 10 points versus your 5 points.
Why do I only have 5?
Because I'm just saying, I'm asking
You
you,
can come up with 5.
I'm asking,
Well, I don't understand.
I'm asking you because you're not letting me. I'm asking you, does he have to have more positive points in his way in order for you to go with him, or it doesn't matter how many positive points he have? If you have it in your mind that I don't want to do that, I'm not going to do that.
If positive points equal data,
Yeah, data,
yeah,
cons,
that's fine. Yeah.
pros and cons. He has 10 pros. You have 5 pros.
Yeah.
So you'll go with him based on those pros.
Data.
Yeah.
Brace on that.
Right. So every time a decision has to be made that you disagree.
Every time. See, now you're adding on.
No, I'm asking. I'm just trying to see is this on big decisions, because it's really not going to come down to. There's a lot of decisions are not going to come down to this, but there are going to be some decisions in life that you have that you may not necessarily agree, but a decision has to be made.
Yes.
And I'm just trying to figure out, how do you get past that point?
Right.
If you don't give in, or if he doesn't give in, is it somebody has to give in?
Especially if they're adamant and say, this is
Well,
what we're doing.
somebody has to give in.
Yeah, someone has to.
I still take issue with how you set up the story.
Oh,
If
Lord.
we get on another day and time,
I
I don't like how you set it up. I think it's heavily weighted and there's some assumptions
Well,
built in there, which is
No, I'm just
will allow me to give you the answer.
I'm just trying to figure out what are the parameters that you would go with his decision versus what you want to do. That's what I was just trying to figure out. In what scenario, the situation that you would go with what his decision is versus what you would want to do.
Well, there are a lot of data points, but I don't.
Right, of course there's
Talk about
data
that
points.
today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you okay.
So,
Yeah.
so to piggyback on what we were talking about, and I like the fact that you brought up trust, because in marriage you've got to trust that your husband is making the right decision, and at the end of the day, sometimes his decisions may not be right, but as a wife, you're supporting him as that man. And if it's wrong, it's not for us women to be like, I told you, I didn't know. Your point is to pray and be like, okay, but we're going to fix this thing. We're going to reverse it. What are we going to do? How are we going to get out of it? Because as you said, it's a partnership. And so you went down the road with him because you agreed to it.
That caveats us into our next.
Thank you. Let's roll it in.
Since you said partnership, a partnership,
Oh, I said, wait, that thing
a
right there.
partnership is the
That's
partnership 50-50,
Mhm.
70-30,
Mhm.
60-40.
Within what time frame?
No, it's not time
It
frame.
is a time
No, I'm
frame.
saying between two people.
No, you
Between
can't
a husband and a wife.
ask blanket questions like that. You just can't do it.
What you mean?
Like,
What? Okay, so explain to me the time frame. Like you said, you want a partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, when y'all decide to spend your life together or get married, is that when the partnership starts at that point? And then what is the weighted? You say you want data statistics. Is the partnership 50-50? Because partnership, if you setting up an LLC, no, if you set up an LLC or a business,
Answers all that.
right, I'm saying when you set up a business and you set up a partnership, you have to put beneficial ownership on it. You got to put out who owns what percentage of the business, right?
Mhm.
So let's say we already said business is like a contract, like marriage is like a business or an agreement or something like that. So when you say who has what level of ownership or power or whatever, control, whatever word we want to use, forget the words. Is it 50-50 in your partnership, or is it like a 60-40 partnership where you're expected to input 40% and he's expected to put 60%, or everything is 50-50?
Let me say one thing. When I take standardized tests, I don't do well on the multiple choice.
Okay.
I do well on the short answer.
Okay.
You're giving me multiple choice. Life is way too complex for your simple, is it A, B, or C? It's like I can't answer in these tiny boxes because so that determines for everything that comes out of my mouth.
Okay.
When you
I just need to understand what your views on partnership is. What does a partnership mean?
Me, I would say it's 50-50 in entirety.
Mm-hmm.
But there are gonna be times where it's 70-30 in my favor,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be times where it's 80-20 in her favor.
Mm-hmm.
And as a marriage, I have to recognize that 80% of the time
Mhm.
we need to be going in her direction because she always right when it comes to X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it comes to A, B, and C, that's my field of expertise, and she just got to defer to me on these pieces because this is what I do.
Right.
So I think
But that's what we could talk about.
That's what I'm
trust.
talking about.
That's trust.
Right.
You know, because every person has to play their role
right.
when it comes into different components within a marriage,
Mhm.
you know, and so you just laid that out that, hey, you know, you can refer to your wife when it comes to the children, school, education, but when it comes to maybe, I'm just calling some stuff out, when it comes to, you know, how we're going to move, this is how we're going to roll our finances, this is how we're going to save this, that's your role because that's your expertise.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's all at the end of the day, it's about trust. You got to trust your partner. That's why it is so important to get to know who you're getting ready to get married to, so that you can understand the components and the concept of what role you're going to play and what he's going to do. It was one person, and I know Lexi doesn't mind, where she had her marriage planned out, her wedding and everything, and called it off because she found out at the last moment what he did with his finances. And she called the wedding off. She had paid fully for Jamaica and all of that. And see, this is what we have to, women and men, you need to look before you dive deep into these marriages and see what your partner thinks, because it's all about trust.
Yeah. I mean, so, and just to level set, partnership means we both put something in it, right? I don't own 100%. You don't own it 100%. That means that we have some measure of input into
this
roles,
relationship and
right,
marriage.
Right. So, you know, we've all been there before in the past where we've been in a lopsided relationships or lopsided situations where we were putting all the effort in the other person wants.
Right.
But that's not ideal. We're saying in a ideal or healthy situation, both parties are inputting into the relationship, the growth, development, all that. So that's just the baseline for this at the simplest form for.
And then you had also put out there too, Mr. P, that not all the time you're gonna agree with your partner. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to your room. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to your room as women and cry, be like, dang it. But you know what? And see, I'm just, for me, from my spiritual background, this is where you pray for your partner. This is where you're like, God, you told me that, he's the head. So I'm praying that he's making the right decision. Even if it's not the right decision, God, I need you to protect our family. You need to give me some wisdom and knowledge how to pray for my husband. Give him the strength, give him the wisdom. And see, this is what we forget, that this is what our ancestors did. They prayed for their men when they went out into the field, when they went into master's house. Now we are forgotten about praying for our men and covering them when they're out. We have to. Because you all are I'm sorry, I understand that Ms. Lindsay doesn't like that. You all are the head. We have to pray because y'all are being beat down by the white man every single day. And then to come home and you not feel the king of your house, it's an all. I'm not going to allow that.
Well, but what about the black women that don't get the same respect that the men and white bosses get? Black men come home and act a fool every day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
but that's still an issue.
Hold you up and you acting a damn fool.
That's still an issue because he should also be encouraging you, motivating your husband. If you're motivating him, he should be motivating you. It should not be one-sided. Now, I'm never going to say it should be one-sided. He should be motivated and encouraging you. At the same rate that you're giving, he needs to give it back.
That's the partnership.
Okay, that's the partnership.
That's the partnership.
That's the partnership. So that means when he's loving you up and he's encouraging you, and he said, "Go, babe. I know they're trying to hold you back from that CEO job, but I know you the bomb.com, baby. If you need to leave that job, and I'm gonna work 2 jobs to make sure I'm taking care of the house." So that's a partnership. That means it's not one-sided; it's going both ways.
So we're
as a
speaking
partnership.
from the affirmative,
Okay.
from the positive, healthy. And again,
Exactly.
we know this is not a perfect world. We
No,
know
it's
that
not.
most
Never.
relationships are not perfect, and
Never.
but the hope is that most people are in a healthy relationship. If
Yes.
you're in an unhealthy relationship, no,
Get out.
You can't apply healthy politics or healthy notions into an unhealthy relationship because it's not going to work.
It's not.
It's already tainted. So we're saying be healthy and whole within yourself.
Yes.
And then you can apply these healthy things
Exactly.
into your relationship to
In
keep
your
your relationship going.
relationship. Yes,
But
right.
again, we talked about this earlier. It has to be both people got healthy because I don't want to. I'm not trying to use that T word again. It's overused.
Mhm.
But both
What's
people.
the T word?
We know what the T word is. It's
Do I know
over.
the T-
You know the T word.
I don't remember what it is.
Toxic. They use
Oh.
toxic. So
Yeah.
it's over inundated. It's toxic masculinity. It's toxic relationship.
Yeah.
No. Healthy. Let's deal with healthy.
Let's deal with health.
Healthy. We want
This
healthy
is
whole
how
people.
health is supposed to look
Because
like.
at one point, all of us have gone through our trials and tribulation and been in a point where we weren't
Mhm.
healthy, whether emotionally, mentally, physically, or whatever. So, but we're saying
Yeah.
people who are in a healthy situation, in a healthy position to journey with
Mhm.
a healthy partner. So that's what
Yeah.
we're talking about.
That's right. That's right.
And we know it's not ideal. Go ahead. I know you want something that's in your head. 'Cause it is not our jobs, and it's not your job as a man or a woman. It's not your job to make somebody else healthy or whole. That is their responsibility. You don't own that
You
responsibility.
cannot fix
They
a
own that
man.
responsibility.
Yeah,
He
they
can't
own
fix you.
it.
But go ahead. I'm sorry. Your face is saying something.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Your face is saying
Go
something.
ahead, Lindsay.
No, I was just thinking about what we were talking about earlier, just
Mhm.
a little bit before you came. Just
Okay.
about how, folks who are single, you were saying are unsuccessful.
No, yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
so single folks who want to be in committed relationships,
Are the
but are
problem.
not
Yeah.
in committed relationships.
They're the
are
problem.
unsuccessful.
Yes.
That's what you're
They
saying.
haven't achieved
They have
success
not achieved success because
in that aspect.
in that aspect,
In the relationship realm.
specifically.
Yes.
Okay.
Not that they're overall unsuccessful people, that they're
Yeah.
not overall, but if your goal is to be in a long-term committed relationship, you have not been successful in it until you've achieved that.
I don't know. There's something that you said this made me think about, like what I was not thinking about before was like the personal growth aspect.
Uh-huh.
We were talking about like, so there's success,
Mhm.
and then there's like the journey to
Yeah.
success.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I felt like is you were saying that unless you achieve the success, the journey means nothing.
No, I'm
right?
not saying
And so
that.
I
Right.
don't know. I just feel
Yeah.
like
I'm not saying that at all.
okay,
You're
yeah,
right.
I think that's
Okay.
Because the journey means a whole
the
lot.
It
journey
means
like is everything.
It does, but you haven't been successful yet.
But it's not that.
And I'm not saying that I'm just saying if that's your
let's
goal.
clean that up because
Yeah.
that
No.
doesn't mean because they did.
No, I'm talking about in
No,
relationship.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Just because you did not achieve don't mean you were successful. It was something that was there that God was still shielding, protecting you from. So you were still successful, and it was something on their part. that you could not go and be successful in that.
I'm not even talking about
So,
the individual.
no,
You're talking about the
no.
individual.
I'm
I'm talking
just-
about if your goal.
But if
is
your
to
goal,
be-
it has nothing to do if you successful or not. Don't
haven't
put
reached your goal.
stigma to that. No, I have reached my goal.
no,
I have reached my
if
goal.
your
If
goal-
I'm not married, don't mean that that's a
if
stigma on me.
you haven't, you
Because
have
I'm not
been successful.
successful. Hell yeah,
I didn't
I'm
say that was a
successful.
successful.
I'm successful even if he does. If I reach
No,
that
ma'am.
and it doesn't become
You have
marriage,
not reached your goal.
maybe I have to be like the Apostle Paul said,
No, ma'am.
that everyone is not going to be married. So therefore, there is no stigma on that you're
I
not
didn't say it wasn't.
successful if you have.
You
reached
haven't
that
achieved. I didn't say you
I'm
were successful.
brother. I'm
I
married.
said you have not achieved the success that you desire.
Oh, it doesn't
Can I
matter.
finish?
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
If your goal, if your goal, and I use the same analogy, if your goal was to cross the street and you never got a chance, you never crossed the street or made it across the street.
Maybe that was
Can I-
my
can I
goal. Maybe
finish?
that was
Can I-
God's purpose.
I just said that was your goal.
Hold on now.
I
Hold
said
on. My
that was
goal
your goal.
and God's goals are two
We're
different
not
things.
talking about God's goal. We're talking about what your goal was. Now you trying to change the direction of your goal.
No, come on.
No, you trying to move.
Go ahead. Get it
You
up.
trying to
Get
move.
it up.
Are you gonna stop?
No, I'm stop.
Okay. If your goal is to cross the street, you can't get halfway across the street and then decide not to go across the street and say I'm still successful. No, I didn't. I made it. You can't say I still made it across the street.
Does
You
not
did not
matter.
make it across the
Does
street.
not matter. Does
It
not
is. You have to
matter.
put it in simple terms.
Does not
You didn't make it
matter.
across the street. I didn't say.
Did not go
I did not
across
say
the
you was
street.
If you want to cross the
My
street,
thing is, sometimes your goals and your dreams does not line up to what destiny has for you.
if that's your
That's
goal,
what we got to understand.
you're
Your
trying
destiny and your dreams
trying
are
to
what
make-
we want to do, and
you're
what
trying to
another
make-
plan
you're
has for
trying to
us
make
are
the
two
goal
different
the
things.
journey. The goal was never the journey. The
I
goal,
thought you said the goal. Yeah.
your goal was
No, boo.
according to you.
No.
You set the goal for yourself. I didn't set the goal for
I-
yourself.
Journey earlier.
No, I said,
It's very important.
but I didn't. I
That's
said
the
your.
journey is
I
hard.
said your
Because
journey was
during
not
the
your
journey-
goal.
During the journey, you worked on yourself, you cleaned up some areas,
No, ma'am.
you looked yourself in the mirror,
You're not holding.
corrected some things
You're not
on
holding
your
yourself
journey.
accountable.
No,
You're
boo.
not holding
Here
yourself
you go.
accountable.
Here you go.
You're not.
Drink my tea.
You're not. Drink your tea, because, ma'am, there's no way I can say I wanted to get to the NFL and I never made it to the NFL and say, yeah, I was an NFL player. No, you were not.
You were successful.
You were
made
not
it
an NFL player.
But did you make it to the team? And they did.
No,
and
you
then
did not.
Oh,
No,
you
you
did
did
make
not.
it. But you made it.
No, you didn't make it.
made it in some
You
form.
did not play in the NFL.
You made it to some form of
You did
fashion.
not play in the NFL. Bottom line, and it's
No.
okay.
But the thing is, don't equate that. Is what I'm trying to say.
Don't
you,
equate
Mr.
it to
B.
what you didn't
Don't
make.
say that a person that has gone through a journey and they didn't get married was not successful.
They
Don't
didn't-
do that.
I said they didn't
Because
reach
then
their
you
goal.
put a stigma. That doesn't matter.
It
Goals
does matter.
change every single day. Goals
Your goal
change
does
every
matter.
single day. They change every
Why
single
set a goal
hour.
if it doesn't matter?
But the thing is, yes, it could be our desire, but is that your
I'm not
plan
talking about-
for your life? Is that a destiny for
Why
your life?
set the
To
goal
say that
if
that's not
where you
making me
want to go?
successful. If I don't marry, I'm successful, baby.
You're triggered. Why set the goal?
No,
Why
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying, Dr. B, why set the goal if that's not where you want
Because
to be?
sometimes that's what you desire, but that's not
Then
what
that's
your purpose.
okay.
But that's just not your purpose. But you can't tell a single woman or a single man out here that you didn't succeed because you're not
No,
successful.
no, I said you didn't. I said you didn't reach your goal. I didn't say you was unsuccessful. I didn't say you was a failure.
That's what he's trying.
That's why I said y'all are triggered.
So, to your point, I felt very similar.
Y'all are triggered. Y'all
But
triggered.
his very specific lane that he's talking about in the slice of pie
Yeah.
of those people, of the people who are interested in achieving long-term relationships.
If you want that,
If you have not achieved that long-term,
you have not been
relationship,
successful.
You are
I'm
not
successful.
successful
I know what the hell
in that pursuit of trying to get into a long-term.
No, you're not successful in achieving the long-term goal.
You're successful.
I just feel like the
Don't
long
y'all
term-
let that get into y'all spirits that you're not successful.
Y'all
Don't
need
let
to
that
be
get into
accountable.
your no.
Y'all need to be accountable.
No.
Stop sugarcoating it, Dr. B.
No.
You cannot
Don't
tell me.
fall for that
cannot tell
Kool-Aid.
me.
Don't
No.
fall for that
That's the
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid right there. When you say,
Don't fall for
when you
the
tell you don't need no marriage, that's the Kool-Aid.
No,
You
no,
want
what
a
you
marriage.
saying about somebody go here.
You want marriage.
successful because I didn't get married.
No.
I was dating and it didn't.
I wasn't
go up
successful
to me.
in getting married.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Point blank. I was not successful in getting married. That's it.
But here's the thing, right?
Go ahead.
Marriage is that I don't even look at marriage as a goal you set out for. Marriage, it's not necessarily one of those things that kind of happens, but it is kind of one of those things that happens. And I don't even think you can weigh success on whether or not you get married.
Exactly.
Mainly because the getting married depends as much on the other person as it does you.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So until you
Yes,
find that
right.
other person,
I think you are setting yourself up for failure.
See,
not
If
necessarily.
you're not prior, if you don't set a goal of getting married or preparing yourself for marriage, you will never get married.
I'm not planning to get married.
Bro, you set yourself up.
I did, but I got
You set yourself up. He got his education, he got his own house, he dated quality women, and he found a wife.
Mm-hmm.
So do you consider that to be set up?
He set
He
himself
set
up.
up to
Yes.
to be able
Yes.
to get married.
He set himself up to be a husband.
Wait, so are those the only things it requires? Or was he
We're not going to your whole list because you got 2,000 lists. That's not the only thing.
But
No, but I'm saying that's not the only thing.
Come on,
That's not the only thing. You want me-
Lindsay.
so what does it mean to set yourself up for
It means a whole lot of things. It means you can become healthy spiritually, mentally, emotionally. You heal from your trauma. You become unselfish. You work on yourself. I'm just saying. I
Because see,
can't give you a whole list.
women is always different when it's in the eyes of a man.
The
They
women.
view a woman as, oh, y'all just do too much. You controlling, you demanding.
What
You
they
the
got to
black
do with it?
woman's it syndrome.
What is that?
you
Now
know?
you trigger. What they got to
Y'all
do
can't
with
be-
it?
y'all
I
can't
didn't say
let a man
anything
be a
about
man.
black women.
We are doing
I didn't
too
never
much.
say-
You
I
know,
said
when it
single-
comes to us, it's a whole list of junk
Single.
that they feel
and
that
you
we are
keep applying this to
unsuccessful
women.
at doing.
You keep
you
applying
know?
this to women.
But like Lindsay said, Mr. P.
You keep that's Dr.
Like
Brown.
Lindsay
You
said,
keep
Mr.
applying this to
P,
women.
that you only said he got education, he did this.
Only you want me to list a whole bunch of things?
Yeah, I want the daggone list.
He got to list his own list. He got to put his own
No,
list.
no, you do the list.
How am I put his list?
See, he ain't have he ain't have
You
a
want
list.
to tell me my list? I can tell you what I did. No,
You better
no, I'm just saying.
ain't too long.
I can't tell you what his list is.
But you named education.
I can tell you what I know he did.
Education.
I can tell you what I know what he did.
But that's not the point. Is that Lindsay
I can
said
give you my list.
You're making it seem like women got this long list of demands that we got
You
to
keep
be
making it about women. When did I say women? I said single folks. That's include men and women.
You know what?
That means both of y'all are unsuccessful.
So you said that Marcus did certain things to set himself up for marriage.
Yes.
What would a woman need to do to set herself up?
I am not a woman.
No.
You got okay. Gender specific.
Everything
Okay. Gender
That's all.
neutral things.
Uh-huh.
Heal herself
Heal herself.
emotionally.
Why gender neutral?
What man can't heal himself?
Because I'm not a woman, so I can't speak from a woman.
What a man can heal himself.
I said gender neutral.
Okay, Ginger.
Gender neutral means men and women need to do this.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Gender neutral means both men and women.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Healing herself on what?
Heal them. So you want me to use the women's side or the gender neutral? Gender neutral means
Total legit question. Let's do women.
I can only.
Women.
Oh, the only thing I can say that applies to women also applies to men. Okay.
Okay.
Well, what would you look for? What would you look for? What traits you would look for in a woman that would make her ready for marriage? In your
My wife. Well, anyway, let's break it down. Let's break it down. Let's break it down.
Mr. P,
Break it
like
down.
I say, he's so far removed from that lifestyle. I validate certain things that he says, especially when it comes to marriage and dealing with different things. But some things he's far removed from.
What they got to do with
It has a lot to do with
I'm not
it
dating.
because things have changed.
So you people
Since
have
when
people
you
have changed.
changed.
So what people prepare for
And
marriage?
that perception and stuff and influence of what the society is doing, things have changed drastically. Just like, with Lindsay was saying, no, I got a problem with the head of the household. Things have changed.
No.
So he said things ain't changed, Lindsay.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying
No,
is
that's not what you're saying.
people had
Okay,
changed.
what are you saying?
Dating has changed. People had changed.
Okay.
The very core people. What I'm saying is, these are things that people who want marriage. Now, if you don't want marriage, if marriage is not in the cards for you, none of that matters.
Marriage or long term? Or
Marriage or long term? I'm really saying marriage, but if y'all long term people want to do this, y'all can do this too. But anyway, I'm just saying they need to position themselves where they're, first of all, they got to be mentally prepared, healthy. You have to be mentally healthy. And I ain't saying stuff that you can't help, but I'm just saying you got to be worked through or be over some of that trauma that you carried on, like the insecurities and some of the other stuff that brings you issues in a relationship. You've got to be over some of that. I ain't saying you, got to be completely done with it, but you got to be in a good place mentally, right? So emotionally, you got to be available. You got to be emotionally to do that. You got to be selfless. You got to be ready to be selfless for somebody else. And you, big of all, you got to be really committed, to something with all your might. You can't be halfway in. If you halfway in or looking like we said before, have an escape plan, you're not ready for it. So these are things that are specific across the board. Now, I think men got a different list of things that they got to do. They got to be prepared for it. They got to be prepared to die for their family. They do.
You protected.
You do. Right. You got to be prepared to die.
If me and my wife together, somebody snatches her bag.
Yeah.
Getting that bag back.
Man, you gotta be prepared to die. You see what I'm saying? You do, Dr. B. If you're not prepared to die for this woman, you don't need to. Right.
I'm thinking about this comment was talking about why men get paid more.
Oh yeah, because they die. They die.
Like taking women and children.
Right. Yeah. So it's a different list of things that we have to do. And like I said, I'm speaking on Marcus just because of stuff we know from the experience, and I've seen him. I've known him a long time, and I've seen him prepare himself. Now, was I surprised he got married? Yes, but I knew he. But I knew that he put himself in a position where he was going to be more than likely to be successful at it. And so that's all I'm saying. I'm not to look. I still think single people are the problem. And if again, I say this for each other's problem. Y'all single men and women, there's so many great single men and women, but y'all can't seem to get together. And I'm not talking about y'all two specifically. I'm talking about them out there.
I need it.
I'm just saying, y'all single people can't seem to get it together. Because again, if Dr. V, there's a lot of great single men. You know a lot of, I don't know about women because you don't hang with a whole bunch of women. No. But you know some great single men who are single. We got friends.
I have two friends.
Okay.
Because I keep my circle small.
Small. You're a pastor. None of your people, your single men ministry ain't ready?
They all married.
Oh, see. They got sons. But anyway, we know good people that are ready. But I know some great single women too, but they can't seem to find quality men. I've watched you when you talk about your dates.
I blame married people. You know why? You all do not support single people in trying to match the single people that you know.
We don't. I agree.
You know what?
I agree.
Let's put this out here. They need to have Carlos and Marcus need to have speed dating for you and I to meet their single friends. Just you and I. And we come over and we could have this.
Bro, didn't we talk about this? Didn't we talk about this? We don't want their responsibility because if it don't work out,
no, it's not gonna be that we're mad at you, but you're open the door for opportunity
for us to meet them. I agree. I agree.
Exactly. Because the thing is, us. You know the type of caliber men that would be needed in our life, because y'all are not gonna have friends that are just dummies.
Yeah.
Y'all want to have friends that are about it, are able to, be a partnership. Be able to, treat us like we're supposed to be treated. So why not look to our single men friends to hook us up?
I agree.
Let's put it out there. Let's do speed dating. Only women and Lindsay. Only with me and Liz.
Okay. I agree. I agree.
I got your back, girl. I got your back.
Yeah, statistically speaking, there's a high percentage of people that meet their spouse through friends. I agree.
sense.
Mutual
I think
acquaintance.
from a cultural standpoint, you kind of taught to be the opposite.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be.
No, we need you to be in the business. Be in the business.
It makes way more sense, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
It makes way more sense
Yeah.
if married couples would introduce single friends.
Yeah.
Opposed to taking that.
Yeah,
situation.
exactly.
And then making comments on the slide like, "Well, I'll be glad when she get rid of such and such."
Exactly. And be and look, and then on the side time, that ain't gonna work.
I tell you,
Right.
Gonna work.
I tell you, you ask
And then wait a minute, be at the table talking about what I tell you.
if you ask me, I tell you.
No, you didn't.
I said that ain't the one.
You ain't said it.
I said that
You
ain't
had
the
to
one.
say it your wife.
No, I said that ain't the one. You tell me. I said you ask me, I'm gonna tell you that. Ain't the one. But anyway, going back into what we
Anyway,
talk about.
So hey, y'all look forward. We're gonna do Marcus and P are gonna hook us up, and we're gonna do speed dating online. So you all see us doing this
Hey,
experience.
tell us. Hey, send
I'm
us
waiting.
message us, bro.
That's
Tell us
right.
message us. Send us. Yeah, get us instant message if you I know, right?
Job qualifications.
Pretty much.
Job.
What's the minimum? What's the minimum?
That's right.
Speaking of that, what's the
education?
hey?
Yeah.
Y'all got any height restrictions?
Oh, no height restrictions, no.
Taller than me.
Okay, how tall are you?
I'm 5'8".
5'8". Okay, 5'9".
Okay.
or better.
Mhm.
6 feet. Oh, here we go to 666 thing. All right,
I
salary.
say good credit.
Good credit. No salary
Yeah.
requirements.
Mm.
No salary.
You know, at least you got to be able to got to be some salary requirements.
Like you want to go on a nice date, so you got
Yeah. Yeah, salary requirements.
We hooked up with some folks who are unemployed. Like,
Oh,
straight up
okay.
Oh no, you got to be employed.
Yeah, at least.
Okay. So 6 feet, 6 figures,
employed,
6 inches,
decent job, career.
6
Did this boy say stupid?
That's what the 666 ain't it?
Hey man,
6 feet, 6.
I'm talking about job and career. I'm Mr. Cole.
6. What's the other 6? 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 figures. What's the other one, Ken?
Something.
It's another 6. It's another 6. Yeah, it's 6 inches.
6 inches though.
Yeah, I think 6 inches, bro.
And you can't be living with your mom.
Everything else is a myth, bro.
You can't be living with your mom.
Everything else is a myth. Bro.
Oh, and my thing is, I love to travel. You got to be passport
Here we go with the
pimping.
list now.
If you ain't passport pimping, I'm sorry. You got to
Okay.
be passport pimping.
Because that's one thing I've always noticed when we travel is how many sisters be there with white dudes in interracial relationships, and that
I'm
always
open
bothers me.
to it.
Right? No, but it's not y'all fault. It's just so many brothers are closed-minded and don't have passports and don't know how to even buy a plane ticket that y'all don't have a lot of options.
I ain't gonna put it on the brothers.
I ain't gonna put it. Who you gonna put it?
Look, you know, we've seen too many times. You go to Jamaica, Dominican, you see.
I see single women. Yeah, I see a bunch of women.
Interracial. They tend to be
You're
interracial.
not blaming that on black men. Who you blaming? Yeah, okay.
No, I'm not putting it on. I'm not blaming it on anybody.
I'm blaming on brothers. 'Cause what I've learned in life, even when it comes to our travel crew, like my brother-in-law specifically, I used to always tell my wife, we're gonna have to get him on one vacation first to get him used to spending the money.
Yeah.
Once he realizes the money is a good investment, we'll never have to worry about him coming on the
Again,
trip
because you're gonna introduce him to it. Yeah.
Exactly, but until then,
Gonna
show
show
was
it.
happening. That's too much money. I
Right.
was the same way. When she came to me with the first vacation, I was like, hell no, you don't do that kind of money.
Yeah.
But when I went, them 5 days was worth it.
Yeah.
And
See?
after,
No
I
more
think with-
problem.
Yeah, and with men, a lot of times we have to be shown. You can't just tell
Yeah.
us too hard.
That's not about old people.
It's true.
Yeah. So listen, y'all, to be announced, right? Because Marcus and P are gonna find some good eligible bachelors.
Back to that.
Bachelors for us, and we're gonna come live and direct. And then guess what? The thing is, you all are gonna help us pick.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna let them. We got to do something to spruce up to get us some people. Yeah,
They're not listening. They're not listening. These are two of the most hard-headed women,
no,
much like hard-headed.
don't be trying. No.
Well, you already seen it for yourself, bro. You can't be yeah. You gotta have a strong
So
backbone,
come
bro.
on, they're gonna set it up and let us.
Must
know
have a
what's gonna
strong
happen.
backbone. That's number one. You ain't got no strong backbone, do not apply.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a strong
what's wrong
backbone.
mind?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are not
And you're
dope
gonna
women.
need to be
No.
self-confident.
No.
Self-confident.
Yeah, bro. They gonna challenge you on everything.
No,
So
I'm not.
You gotta
No,
be
I'm
up to
not.
snuff.
they gonna challenge you.
We're not gonna
You
challenge.
said many things. Okay.
I'm not gonna
You
challenge.
ain't got all the answers, Sway. That's all I'm
Oh.
saying. That's all I'm
No, they don't. Men don't.
No, they do not.
But a wise man always takes good counsel from his wife. So
Yeah,
you
see.
say that.
you see what I'm saying? So again, if you got somebody who ain't wise, you probably shouldn't.
You're gonna be messed the hell up.
But anyway,
That's all I'm gonna say.
let's get on this since we're talking about six figures.
Mm-hmm.
This next topic we're talking about is finances.
Mm-hmm.
Now, y'all said y'all didn't put no hard stipulations except if they got a passport, they gotta have a good credit and a job.
Mm-hmm.
And can't live with their mama. Or
Can't
their
live
mama
with
live
mama.
with them.
That's
That's
a
the
caveat.
That is
That is
yeah.
different.
That's different because he's taking care of his mother, and I honor a man. If he takes care of his mom, he gonna sure take care of you.
But
Baby.
is he technically living with her? Or is she living with him? They're living in the
If
house.
if,
he
if
grew
the
up in or
house is
something
in
like
if the
that?
house is in his name and he's paying the
Okay,
bill,
let's just
That,
say
so that okay.
No,
It's his mom's
now
house.
let's
it's a different story.
see y'all
He with mama. He with mama then.
Yeah.
y'all
Mama them.
y'all make it too complicated for these brothers. For these brothers. Look, brothers,
Okay.
you must have the big bedroom. That's it. Just got the big bedroom.
Like the master suite.
If you got the big bedroom, you
The
good.
master suite,
That's
not
it.
the big
You
bedroom.
must have the big bedroom. Everybody ain't got a master suite. You got to have the big bedroom. Okay.
Appreciate that.
First of all, if it's a
Right.
big bedroom, you ain't got the master suite.
You got to have the big bedroom.
Pass over me.
Look, Diamond. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
You still sleeping in the same twin bed.
Yeah.
So we not-
Yeah, not what we ain't gonna do. What we ain't gonna do.
No.
All right, so let's listen to this through. I got two video clips I want y'all to listen to. This first one, and this is her name, April Mason. Y'all remember her? Y'all heard of her before?
Mm-mm.
She's been the one. She's supposed to be like a big coach and stuff like
Okay.
that. She was the one, and she went viral a couple years ago or something. But most people probably know who she is. Let's listen. First, this is what her mama told her.
Broke is not of God
April, why you say broke isn't of God?
because it's not.
Where's that in the Bible?
Protects your. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me wait. I'm not a Bible thumper, but I think over in Timothy it says, I think, ain't it? Is it 1 or 2 Timothy? A man that does not take care of his family is worse than an infidel.
That's what it says.
Okay, so I know it's somewhere in there. I do know
Well, it
that.
depends on what you call taking care of. What is broke to you?
This is what my grandfather taught me.
Good.
He said, a man, if you're going to take a man's last name, he has to be able to provide for you 100%.
Mm.
Now you can't be broke. Now we don't do broke. We do broke.
Okay, so he has to be provide for you. He
has
has
to
to
be
be
I'll
provide
let you all speak first.
100%.
Mm.
What is your take on the 100%?
Now I already know Lindsay
So
because he can't be the head.
Come on,
Now,
Doc.
you don't necessarily have to be the head of the household. However, if I can sit up on my natural black for the rest of my life, do absolutely nothing. Believe you me, I'm here for that. Yes.
You don't think somebody who's letting you sit on your natural black ass is going to be the head of the household?
I'm worth it. What?
No, you don't think he's going to be the head of the household?
If he,
He's not going to insist on it?
he doesn't have to. No. Look, let me tell you something. The world is a big place.
Yes,
There's
it
a
is.
lot of different ways to live this life. I'm
Yes, it is.
smart as shit.
Yes.
Just because I'm sitting on my ass doesn't mean I have nothing to contribute.
Okay, true.
So let's not get those
True.
things
Okay.
twisted. You see what I'm saying?
So you're
But
not
what
trying
I'm
to be a
saying
kept
is-
woman, you just want to.
No,
be.
no, yes, I do want to be.
Oh, okay. Let's clear it. Okay, let's clear it up, bro. He wants to be a kept woman. Okay.
I don't want to have to work in order to eat.
Okay.
I
There's a
believe
difference.
me, I have a great head on my shoulders. I can apply my skills and my talents in any way that I choose. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
like at the end of the day, I want to be able to apply those things so that I don't so I don't have to. Like
Okay.
the only way for me to be able to eat is to like get out and do like things.
Okay.
I like to have the option. Like I'll contribute. I'll be like a contributing member to society, but not because I have to.
Oh.
No. I want what the white women have, the white privilege. They
Exactly.
do nothing. They sit on their asses at home
Exactly.
and they take care of kids. They do laundry.
And they
I want that.
And
They don't do anything.
Nothing.
I have worked my ass off for a lot of my life. I'm tired. I don't know about anybody else. So if I can sit on my natural black ass and be fabulous for the rest of my life, believe you me, those are my life goals.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly, Mr. Mark.
I ain't mad, but
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go back to the whole 50-50.
Right, right.
But no, seriously though, like, I mean, we make it work. For me and my wife, we make it work.
Mhm.
Regardless of the situation, when it comes to finances, when it comes to who pays what bills, when
Mhm.
it comes to what needs to be done, we make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Lights on, cables on, internet, air conditioning, everything's done. We don't have
Mhm.
no problem. So I think it's just finding that ground that works for you. I don't
Right.
think there's any blueprint that's gonna work for everybody. But if you open-minded and you're willing to work with each other, and again, you keep that partnership in mind, and you
Mhm.
know that you're striving for the same goal, and you aren't going east and she's going west,
Right.
you should be okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've seen too many situations where one's going east and one's going west, and the
Right.
relationship literally is going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen
Exactly.
relationships like that, last 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's remarkable to me. But, one thing I've learned about life that, we can keep ourselves in a bad situation. At some point you have to make that move for yourself and say, hey, I deserve better than this. Let me move
Mhm.
forward.
Mhm.
I don't want to talk about anybody specific, but you have to love yourself enough to know when somebody is not healthy. Period.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, you do.
Regardless of how long.
That's right.
Yeah, you do. You do. And I think the disconnect happens. And I think a lot of men, I'm speaking from a man's perspective, are okay with a woman or their wife not working. But I think the challenge comes in the expectation is that I'm not going to work and I'm also going to live like the Kardashians.
Mhm.
That's not going to happen.
That's unrealistic.
You see what I'm saying? You ain't got to work,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to be okay with our 2-bedroom, 1 bath, fixer upper, that we got to work to make nice and do everything like that. We may not be able to travel as often.
Exactly.
We have food, we have shelter.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. But so
You live a comfortable life.
you live a comfortable life. But I think a lot of people, and that's the poison of social media. I think a lot of people thinking a lot of people are living this fabulous life, and most people are not. Most people don't make 6 figures. Most retarded people are
You
not.
see it on those clips where the guys be in the street and they're interviewing people and they're asking girls how much money does a man need to make,
Yeah.
and they're like 6 figures, $180,000, and I'm like, I need to come back to the real world.
Yeah, and they're like, do you make that? No.
But then when you think about you want to date a man with 6 figures, 7 figures, do you not know they're not going to be home?
Right.
Do you know that you're going to be home a majority of the time by yourself because they're out working?
Mm-hmm.
And so therefore you really won't have the full dynamics of a marriage because he's trying to support your lifestyle because you want to sit home and you want to live this lavish life. So what do you want? Do you want 6 figure, 7 figure, or do you want someone to be home and y'all work together as a partner?
So you think people would be better served establishing a lifestyle versus a number?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
establishing.
So establish a lifestyle, like you're
Mhm.
saying, because again, once,
Mhm.
and we all know this from age and wisdom, once you get to a certain age, once you get past those 20s and you ain't trying to be outside everything, you
Mhm.
want your home to be comfortable.
That's
You
right.
want it to be
You want
have
to
a space
relax
where you
that
can relax.
That's right.
You want to be, if you got good drink, good space, somewhere you can relax and feel comfortable, you have it.
That's right.
That's your happy place. You don't need to be all those.
Exactly.
You just see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So some people think that the only way they can achieve that is to be having.
Right. And stop
Yes.
trying to live this pretentious life of thinking that you need to keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
Every house is designed and blueprinted for your house.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to be different. You don't know what happens behind closed doors when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses. So find you someone that you all can have the partnership, you can grow together and have the things that you want. And the one thing that I admire about you and your wife, and I think we talked about this on the podcast before, and you said, my wife, she wants to do X, Y, and Z. He says, I don't have no problem taking care of my wife, but we'll have to downsize. That's a beautiful thing. You don't hear women talk about downsize. They're ready to divorce when you talk about downsize, but that's crazy. But if you want to put it back into the role of where, and I know this is what Lindsay does not like, put it back into the role where the man is the head and the man, because really typically how God designed it was for us to be home anyway, and for the man to be out there working. And so I said, you gonna have a problem.
Like them gender roles.
So I already did that disclaimer, Lindsay, so it's no need for you to go with the faces. It ain't no need to do it in the hand. Talk to the hand, not to the face.
Let me ask you a question, though, lady. That's
I want to
okay.
make sure you finish your point.
Oh, where was I going? So,
No,
you
where
know,
you
so y'all were always going somewhere, Mr. P. I'm always going somewhere, not where you want to go, but I'm going. So, you know, if we're going to move to how it was designed and purposely created for us, we were supposed to be home. It's now the roles and the dynamics have changed, especially in the Black household. Let me put it in the Black household, because we kind of out of order with some of our stuff. Now, that's why the women are now so educated. Now we're CEOs, CFOs, COOs, because we're not finding the Black men to come in and do what it's supposed to do, quote unquote, biblically. However, if we want to live, you know, and say, hey, we want to have XYZ, we want our husbands home, we got to let y'all do what you need to do.
Okay. Okay. Let me and
Now go ahead.
I got
Go
a
ahead.
video that I
Go
want to
ahead.
show y'all, but at the same time,
Oh Lord, here we
what?
go.
What? I'm just giving context.
Y'all see how me and Mr. P be sitting on here talking, right?
I'm just
We never agree on nothing.
That's okay. We can agree to disagree. The question I was going to ask you, Darker, was like, okay, because you said gender role and you didn't like what she was saying, right? If you were the element, if you were in a position to be the breadwinner and he was to be home, taking care of the household and the family and things like that, would you be okay with that? You wouldn't see him any differently as if the roles were reversed.
You cool with having Kiki baby dad?
Yes. The Kiki Palmer situation.
Mark that talk on Twitter. So God, on my plate.
Is it a woo-saw moment? It's a woo-saw moment. Tell it like it is.
See value.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's a job that like I enjoy.
Shit, we tired of doing everything.
Girl, who you telling?
Shoot. Bills, here you go. Make sure they paid on the 5th and the 15th. Here you go. Make sure nothing past due. But you know one thing, women, let me tell you, we're talking about this for women, but I need you also to make sure you're doing checks and balances. Do not let your men take care of everything and you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And that goes for men too. Because I'm gonna tell you, I had a cousin one time.
Oh Lord.
This brother found out his home was being foreclosed.
Oh no.
And all I'm saying is just make sure that you check make sure the bills
checks
getting
and
paid.
balances.
And
That's sad.
And it was his house before it was their house.
Oh no. See what I'm talking about?
To follow up on make sure everything.
Yeah, things are done. I be on the phone like, did the bill get paid?
Amen.
You better.
It's one thing to forget.
Yeah.
It's a whole
Look,
nother thing to be
and I believe in being the head of the household, but I be on the phone like, did it get paid?
Wait, so are you saying this head of household, is this just because he is a man?
Not just because he is a man. I'm just my thing, and then you got to remember where I'm coming from. I'm biblical. And so that's where I come from, being the head of household, that this is what his quote unquote role is supposed to be.
But why?
Because that's how God designed it. God didn't design for us to. Yes, he did. He did.
Was it white men that put
No,
together
no
the
way.
Bible?
But no white men. They told us that.
Definitely put together the Bible. They did.
I don't believe that. And you and I, and the thing that I always say this, y'all know this. I don't go back and forth with scripture. So I will advise, if you want to know, read the word, because that's one thing that God said we're not going to argue back and forth on the word.
It's not the
So
word.
no, because
Creation of-
no, but we keep saying the white man, regardless of white, black, Creole, whatever, whoever made the Bible, stand on it and ask God to give you discernment on the word. If you think it's the white man, ask God to give you discernment. And the scripture said, meditate the word for your day and night for yourself to get understanding. And that's why I leave it. As a
Let's
minister,
take a
I
break.
leave it there. We're back. We took a small break. We all had to use the restroom, refreshing our waters and drinks, and now we back at it. Okay, y'all ready? You go part 2. Let's go,
All right,
Mr. P.
let's listen. And we're still talking about the 100% of financial responsibility of the man.
Financial responsibility.
Oh, that play.
He told me straight up, he has one of his closest friends ran into some financial issues in his relationship. And he told me, and he told him, these guys, they're married. All of these brothers are married. He told him, he said, you better not tell her what you going through. In fact, you need to borrow some money, which is what he needed. You come to me first before you come to your wife. You borrow that money from me before you ever ask before you ask your wife for anything. Come to me first. If I ain't got it, I'm gonna go to somebody else to get it for you, because you do not want your wife having that thought or that like losing that trust in you in this area, this specific area. And we talking about, Tom. He told me straight up,
Right.
he has
Right, so that's it. Now, I just took this clip out, but he had 2 successful women on there, and they said that was a good man.
That was.
So they basically,
Did they say
amen. They
I
didn't
wanna
say
hear
why.
that part of you first.
They
Well,
didn't.
I'm interested to know why
They didn't say why, but they like they was a good man. So
Okay.
that they basically agreed with what he was saying, that a man should not. That's what brought this whole question: go to his wife or know her, let her know how bad he's hurting financially.
Right.
Now I'm gonna let y'all speak. on
Now, you said why. Now, one thing, now I'm just talking from my experience. Number one, I feel that, for him to say, come to me, that means that they have their brother's back, that they understand the plight of, hey, financially, you need the help, come to me. We're going to live with you. That's what a family is supposed to do. Brotherhood is supposed to do, to make sure, because you don't want that added stress onto your wife of worrying, number one. I don't think it's more so of the trust. It's more so of the worry. Well, how are we going to take care of this, Johnny? Well, how are we going to do this, Johnny? You come in with all these questions that he is not able to answer. And so going as a brotherhood, looking out for another brother, is saying, hey, we got your back. We got you covered. Come to us. We got you. And in this day and time, you don't have that support, boo-boo. You out there on your own. They letting people sink. You got to swim the best way you're behind can. So
Well,
that's one reason. So is that enough information for you to now answer the question?
I might be rude. Let's go.
Uh-huh.
Let's go about
All
this.
right, and that's why I know you
let's-
like the information. That's why I wanted to give you that information.
Let's dissect this. Go ahead. Lee.
Okay.
I don't know, because I have questions still. Because I mean, so on its face, I don't think I understand the desire for brotherhood versus partnership in that moment. On its face,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't see why that is the priority versus the partnership.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I would say that I do think there is power in brotherhood,
Mhm.
right? But I am not so convinced that the need to save face.
Mhm.
That's what I'm hearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the need
Mhm.
to save face.
Mhm.
There's no really any other value to keeping the secret other than keeping your face. Now, if you need to keep your face in your relationship, that's another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Right outside of the money, so like there's
Mhm.
multiple layers to it. So for me, like that's how I feel about it. Now, so there's a lot of different ways it could fall out,
Mhm.
and a lot of different ways it could happen. Like yes, your folks could help you. Yes, they could not help you. Yes, you could tell your wife, like why do you have to save face, right? So I think it's so straightforward.
Mhm.
But like I think you can go to your friends and tell your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
will your wife be receptive of
Why wouldn't you?
it?
If you feel like you got to save face, apparently that's the wrong
That-
way.
that's-
That's how I feel.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. Go ahead. I'll let you.
Partnership, like,
Yeah.
Because some women
can't
don't
know.
want that. They're ashamed. We got to go here. We
Well,
got
that's
to
a
do
whole.
that.
that's a
Right.
You know, and then I can't trust you with the finances. You can't take care of us. You got to go to your friends. And so
Right.
he got to hear all of this in his ear.
Right, but
And you nagging. And you saying
But
X,
that's
Y,
just the
Z.
person that you marry.
yeah, it does.
It does. It does. But it happens.
Right,
But
but
it happens.
so let me ask y'all before Mr. Marcus speaks.
Okay.
As women, would you look at him differently if he got into financial problems and he needed help.
No.
Well, what's the detail? Were you at the strip club?
No,
no.
Investment, like
Information.
It wasn't inappropriately, like it wasn't a strip club. He just like made bad. He could have took a loss and made a
Laid
bad
off,
finance
right.
business decision, or the business decision didn't turn out the way he thought it.
Right.
Okay.
Which and he,
Well, let's review the decision, the circumstances that we arrived at that decision, a set of circumstances, and how do we not get ourselves into that next time, and then we can determine. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but would that
let's
change
dissect
your-
that shit.
okay, so depending on how you dissect it will determine how you look at him going forward.
Yeah. Like,
What about
you
you?
know? You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't want to get in the weeds. Some people want to get. You want to get in the weeds.
Oh,
Some
I
people
need-
want to put.
I need to give me the Excel spreadsheet,
Right.
and then we can go.
I mean, I would like to know, but if they're helping, I will appreciate that, and it's gratitude.
Yeah, forget
there.
about the other guys. I'm talking about just your.
I'm just saying, but yeah, I want him to let me know
Okay.
what's going on.
Regardless.
Regardless of what's going on. Because again, like Linda said, partnership. I should be your first line of defense. I'm supposed to be the one you should be able to be open and honest with.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and if you go into your bros,
Yeah.
right, that's a different dynamic.
Right.
I have things about men who go to other men first before they're women, like it just
Yeah.
makes me
Right.
feel some type
Because
of
it's
way.
a
Yeah.
partnership. He should come to
Yeah.
you first,
Yeah.
and then or either if he does go to them first, come back and tell you,
Something.
hey,
but
this
I'm
is what let them get you in the loop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But say, okay, but it's resolved because I went and talked to XYZ, but I wanted to let you know that's different partnership.
That
You
one.
worked it out, you figured it
You
out,
figured it out and you handled it.
and you handled it.
I mean, that's cool to a point. But
Mhm.
the problems I see, right, is you're lying to your wife, right?
Mhm.
And it's like if you take an L and y'all in a situation where y'all might be at home in 2 months, you probably want to be open and honest
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
You need to know.
And then she looking at you like, nigga, what? It was all good.
Right.
It was all good a week ago.
Right.
Now, that's just me on one point. But my other point, and it could be just me because I know some trifling MFs in my day, right?
Mhm.
In my head, all I'm thinking is that other dude is just waiting on the opportunity. But
Yeah.
remember when I paid your rent? And then it wasn't me.
that's
You
what
and your wife would have been ass
But
out.
then that's not
on the
your
street.
friend.
It's not a friendship. It could be a
Yeah.
family member though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Family is the word.
Right. And the bottom line is you don't look like an ass in front of your woman, your wife, because you
Yeah.
lied about the situation in the first hand. And then B, you just gave another man a one up on your whole life situation that you didn't even know about. So now she feeling look like a damn fool when this nigga
Yes.
confront you in front of everybody and say, yeah, don't you still got to because me.
Do not embarrass me. Do
Exactly.
not
My proxy. Right. You don't want to do that by
Exactly.
proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just got to be careful with that. It just comes with letting someone else into your marriage. Keep it with
Yeah.
two people is just easier to manage. All
It is. That's what I was saying. That's why I disagree that a man is 100% responsible for
Right.
the fine. He can be if that's the choice that y'all make, and
Mhm.
he does that. But at the same time, even if he's 100% responsible, she needs to be 100% invested or know what's going
Right,
on.
because I think a lot of times as men, from an ego standpoint, we can underestimate what stresses women can take on.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but they got. Well, like she said, they smart. They got good ideas. They figure stuff out too. Or like you
You
said,
know that, but at the same time, we be like, I don't want to bother her with such and such, but
Nah.
I've learned bother her
But
with
you
that
know,
shit.
but you know
She
what?
gonna
One thing
figure it
about a
out.
woman, she can discern things. She
Right.
knows
Mhm.
what's going on. She have a sense. We ain't dumb.
Right.
We can have a sense about some things and know, and we just wait for you to bring it to our attention.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So don't think that we sit back here talking about, oh, he'll let me know. No,
Nah.
we discern. It's like, if he's gonna come and tell me the truth because I got
Look,
to feel
you up and ring the
something.
phone up. No, sir.
Right. That's right.
Like with men being 100%, is that your choice? Because that's not my expectation.
okay,
But that may be a choice that you decide to
Right.
make that I didn't have to consent to.
Right.
Right. So, but like, I don't think that should be like the general overall. Because like maybe you don't do money.
Right,
Like,
right.
Why would I put you in charge?
Right,
So, and but you know what? You made a valid point, and that's why some of the roles, even though he may be, and Lindsay doesn't like this, may could be the head of the household, but he can say, "Hey, babe, you good with finances? I'm gonna bring my paycheck, and you make sure things are done." That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool, as
Mhm.
long as you have communicated that
Yeah.
as a
Yeah.
partnership.
hmm
You know,
yeah. I just think it's dishonest. I think it's dishonest not to tell your wife and for you to go to your bros and do
Yeah.
all that. I mean, I say you can go and tell her because again, we need to be on the same page. Hey, babe, we need to slow it down.
Yeah.
It's a little tight.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna have to do some beanie weenies this week. And then she got but if she look at you
Exactly.
differently, then obviously you made a poor choice in who you married. Because
But if
then
she roll with you during the boy,
yeah, she's like,
when
okay,
y'all
baby.
be raining for 2 weeks,
Yeah, she be like, I'm a
deal with you. You know you made
like,
You know, and I don't know if y'all follow DeVal. I think his name is Ellis, and they have a little podcast.
oh yeah, the Bill Ellis.
And because his wife, when I tell you, she rolled when he made
tried out
it
for
in
the
the
NFL,
NFL. When
yeah.
he didn't make the NFL, this girl hung in there, and now they're making buku money. And because she hung in there and she trusted in him and the process. A lot of times we don't want to trust the process because we don't want to go through. We think we're supposed to live on easy street.
Well,
You know,
people want to
and-
come in at the end after
yeah,
you
and then you want to reap all of
Yeah.
these things. You can't do that, sugar. You can't do that, bro.
Yeah,
And that's
good work.
even on the women's side, bro. You coming into a situation, you got to know you got to work for that.
I'm gonna throw a wrench in there. What about the women that put in all the work but then aren't able to reap the benefits because they ask it's left for the able
That's
to
sad.
reap the benefits?
Yeah, that is
Oh,
sad.
That's always
That is
choose
sad.
better.
That ain't right.
But that's that discernment that we was talking about. You have to know who your partner is. Now, of course, we know in every situation you're not going to figure it out. But for the most part, a lot of those people in those situations, you knew he wasn't about nothing and that they were using you for a come up and stuff like that. So, or somebody told you and you weren't listening.
Right.
Even on the men's side, I'm like, bro, she only call you when she wants something.
When she
Yeah,
wants
so
something.
you know, right, when you ready to go out there.
Also assuming that these women have ill intentions versus ones who actually do fuck with these niggas and niggas leave them in the dust. So,
Some of them do, but some of them don't. Even on both sides. That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about the one. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of niggas out here that, like, getting rid of their women
The good one.
For no
good
good-
women.
for no good reason.
For no good reason. The one who stuck through.
I don't know nobody who ever did that.
You know. Oh, I know a whole.
They got rid of a good woman.
Yeah, they got rid of a good woman.
I
to go
don't hang
some
with them type of
foolishness.
dudes. I don't know
you
them type of
should.
dudes.
Don't
I don't know them type of dudes. I don't know them type of dudes.
Yeah,
Dudes I know, they got a good woman, they sticking around.
yeah. We can call some Michael Jordan. We can
Some of them
call
I ain't
some-
know they had a good woman.
Yeah, it's a good woman and just sitting there and just was crazy.
You can't say Juanita was a good
Shaquille
woman.
O'Neal.
I was about to say Shaquille O'Neal's wife.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Juanita was a good
Right, she wanted,
She
she
wasn't a good woman.
no. She was sleeping with the personal trainer.
She wasn't.
She bought him a house.
with Shaq money.
She bought him a house. Shaq wasn't a good husband either. No, Shaq wasn't a good husband either.
He wasn't good.
No, he wasn't a good husband either, but she wasn't a good woman either.
Allegedly.
Nah. Now she married
Y'all
to a
better
pastor.
you better say
Now she married to a
show.
yeah. Allegedly what? That ain't allegedly. Everybody know that. Invite me on Basketball Wives so I can talk about it.
She took like what $5 million,
Yeah.
and Shaq paid $15 million.
Yeah.
I give her credit for that. She was smart to do that, but she wasn't a good wife. Now,
No,
now your train
wasn't.
a house from Atlanta.
Yeah, but how many children did she have with this?
What's the children on me now?
Five.
What does that matter? What the children got to? So having children make her a good wife?
She could have sleep with the trainer.
That makes her a good wife?
Thank you.
No. Men love
What's good for the
legacy.
goose is
They
good
love
for the
children.
gander.
They act like the only way they can contribute to the earth is through children. So she gave you 5. You're happy. Go sit.
And if he out there doing it,
They
she can
both-
do it too.
I didn't say she good, but they both was.
I don't care. She was there raising the children.
With the maids, the cleaning ladies,
So,
the tutors,
He kept
the
her body.
private chef.
Wait a minute, Marcus. He kept her body right and tight.
Whatever.
Because somebody still baby.
For him.
She still was.
And then she left the train. Now she a pastor. She
She's
married
the
to a pastor.
She's the first lady.
Yeah. She ain't no. I ain't gonna
She
say
live her
that.
own.
You don't say
Talk
that.
about them in a
You
God.
can't do the Megan Good route and then see how that happened. Come on now. Y'all try to pretend.
She went too.
Bro, but she was married to the pastor for all the years and they went on a book tour and did all that fake
Yep.
stuff.
Now she got pain.
Right.
Now she got what?
Now she got pain.
And he was just with her for his image.
Yep. Oh yeah, he definitely got her.
Yeah, he's still going through trial for the
White girl.
assault, the white girl up
The white
in
girl.
New York. So.
The same problem black men been dealing with since they brought us over to this damn country. Literally since they brought us in this country. Y'all niggas still falling for the same.
With the
right. So
Stop it.
yeah. So let's to wrap this up. Let me show this last one. We're gonna wrap this up,
Okay.
and y'all can see this. And this your brother Amon Shumford and his wife, or Tiana Taylor, right? That's
Yep.
his wife.
She another one with no talent. That's famous.
And he's in the shot. I have to say, he's doing a good job as an
in the
actor in the
shot.
shot.
You said Tiana Taylor. We ain't say that, Tiana. Invite her on.
Yeah. He doing good, Tiana, in the shot. I like him in the shot. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go home and watch the shot.
Yeah.
He should have kept.
I mean, he,
Mhm.
hold it down.
Yes, he
You
is.
do the protection and the providing. And
Oh,
the-
100% locked in.
Our offering is that because literally we can't do the other shit. Like that's my offering. That's all I got, baby. Because I can't. I don't know how. I don't make a kid. Wow, nigga, where? Nigga, how?
Fat, help him.
Take
He finna get slapped when he go
Real
home.
talk,
Help
no,
me.
but I'm saying though, that's
So he's basically saying is that we do the protect and the provide because we can't do all the other stuff.
And so, what's your argument? Or
I'm not having an argument.
What you gonna let Nancy speak?
I'm saying, do you agree, or is that what society has relegated men down to?
No, he is selling himself short.
Okay.
That's all you can do, nigga. The why?
But he's like, I think what he said, let me see. He says the emotional intelligence
We
and
in the
stuff
real
like
West
that.
Coast.
but that's the feeling like
Let me see.
we're
Here's
fans
the
of
thing.
each other. Like,
Yeah,
you
fans.
get what I'm saying? I'm a fan of women being able to create life. I'm a fan of you
I love
having emotional intelligence
I
to
love
say I'm feeling this way, but it's not directed at you,
it. Come on.
and I just need an hour to myself. It's like, as a man, I've never done that. I might just walk out the door and be dolo, and it may go completely wrong, but it's like, I love you for having the emotional intelligence to do that. And yes, I can try that next time if I don't get too mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So he's saying
When you do the marriage thing, when we
Men,
say that we gonna do
you know,
the protection
the-
and the providing and
Oh,
yeah,
100%
protection
locked
and
in.
providing
Our
is
offering-
basically what they've been relegated to, and that I guess he's essentially saying is the man, why men are so big on protection and providing, because they don't have the capacity for all the other stuff that women
No,
bring into the
no,
relationship.
Just
That's
no.
what he's saying. I'm not
No,
saying that I agree.
no. We do not allow him to take 1 inch and be like, women can have the rest. Like, no, like you're not, men, human beings have the capability to live and breathe and to expand to all the experiences and capabilities as any woman. Like this whole gender, we're really truly wrapped up into these boxes that genders can only do certain things. Human beings can do amazing, beautiful things, all of us. And so this idea that, well, because I'm a man, that means I can do this and this and this, and everything else is off to someone else. You're selling yourself short. Someone gave you something that you bought, right? Then you got that from another man.
I didn't say I agree with him.
Based on your what you're saying,
Maybe he got it from another man.
From another man, right?
Yes, he
but
probably
like
did.
that's clearly not the whole experience of the human experience, and the fact that men and women are buying the same thing and believing this idea. Well, because I've got nuts, I can really only do like.
Oh my God!
Right. And the fact that you like believe it, and you like support that, and you want to live and breathe into expand to this tiny space that someone else has made up for you. You can do better than that, can't you?
I don't think the majority of people can.
I look at that is, to me, all I heard from him is that I'm gonna do the bare minimum. I made a lot of money in my life, and I'm gonna do the bare minimum, and I'm just gonna say, hey, women, y'all so good because y'all down 70%, and I'm just gonna
We're
do the bare
Superwoman.
minimum. It's like, I don't know, man. Like,
But Karen White said, "I'm not your superwoman."
But
That's right.
do you blame the individual for that, or you blame the society? Because again,
Yes.
men, we're not taught to be emotionally intelligent. From the time that we are a small child, we're told to be tough.
Yep.
We don't cry.
Mm.
We don't show no emotion. We're in control of our emotions. So we're drilled this our entire life as a child that boys do this certain way. We're acting. Stop crying like a girl. Stop doing like I'm just what I'm saying.
And you bought it.
But who is they? Our parents. Our parents.
And we bought it.
Our parents in our society. Your parents are your first teacher.
Hell, man. How we used to feel as a kid when your transformer would break, steal your brake, right?
Really?
And they would literally tell you don't cry. Like, I don't know how to handle this situation. The only thing I know how to do for real is cry.
That's right.
Just don't cry. That's all you
But here's the flip side. Here's the flip side. Women don't like a man who cries.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Majority of women don't.
That's not true.
I do cry. I promise you, bro. I can tell you, if you go out on a date on first 1 or 2 dates. No, I'm speaking in reality. So you meet somebody,
Reality.
1 or 2 dates in, he gets emotional and he cries in front of you.
That's a crybaby.
No, we need to get to it.
What is the topic? What are you discussing that he cries about?
That's
He
it.
cries
I could be wrong, right?
That's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying?
Like, I know that I can watch movies that if it's emotional, I'll shed a tear too.
Yeah.
I don't think my wife looks at me like I'm a bitch because I drop a tear because something
No,
happened
she
in the
does.
movie.
She doesn't.
But they got the history.
Because that shows that you have.
They got history. They got history.
what you're trying to hold on.
Y'all don't want.
Have you cried watching a movie?
Yes, but what did I have to do? I'm not while I was dating. When I was dating,
Yeah.
when I was with somebody, when I was out there dating, I wasn't crying.
But I get comfortable with emotions like that till I got older. So
Right, that's what I'm saying, bro. Because you've been trapped. The society, women. I promise you, if you cry in front of a woman that you're dating and y'all ain't establish a long foundation, she ain't trying to see all that. She ain't trying to be all that. Because
Crying.
it don't matter. Crying because it's vulnerable. Let me replace crying with let me replace crying with vulnerability.
Okay. No, I think you have a good point.
But it's the thing. We're not taught that we can't be vulnerable. We can't be that in front of a woman. Or not, I didn't say not our woman, but just a woman. Like, I've just met her. We don't have a foundation. I haven't demonstrated strength to her. I haven't demonstrated all these qualities that she likes. If she gets an idea in her head like that from the jip, oh no, she ain't
I
good with
agree.
me.
But
Let's
what kind of crying?
Let's say y'all been dating for 2 or 3 months, right? And I lose my job. And I'm crying about losing my job. And you call me up. And you like, what's wrong, baby? I lost my job. Yeah, I had a problem with that, man. This old bitch ass nigga, this nigga gonna be crying because he lost his job.
Wait. Okay, let's put y'all to the side.
Okay.
You said what you had to say.
Okay.
But it's still a reality.
It is reality.
How do you feel about a man who cries in your presence if he lost his job based on the scenario that he gave? How do you feel?
Newly.
Newly,
Newly.
I wouldn't see
3
him.
months.
I
3
wouldn't
days, 3
see him.
months.
I wouldn't see him as a wimp. I would see him that he's able to express himself. He's open.
Stop the cat.
And guess what? And another thing, hold on, that he trusts me to be able to cry in front of me. I would love that. Because that shows, because you all, and Marcus said this, we was taught not to cry over things. And if a man is showing his vulnerability, that as a woman, we should embrace that. It's like, oh my God, okay, I got you. I understand. Thank you. Now, if you're behind sitting there crying every time, see, becomes a problem. Like,
There is no distinction.
no. But if you cry all the time,
He's just emotional, right?
So it just depends on the value. So like, if someone took my parking spot at work, I can cry.
because I'm gonna look at you side eye like, this is no work.
But a woman can do that, and we won't look at it no differently.
Let's say I woke up late, traffic was bad, I almost got a fender bender, and then when I got to work, Rob took my damn park spot.
Yeah.
But you are crying.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's rewind this though. If he takes your parking space and you say that X, Y, Z, and all these things have happened to you, the first thing I'm gonna do is say, okay, I'm gonna calm you down. I'm like, it's okay, because emotionally that has affected you and your mentality. Because then I gotta say, okay, then it's not a win. But if you crying over some other stuff, now so you gave me a scenario that I got to see and analyze. It's a different perspective. It's not that you being a wimp. Your emotions have taken over now, and now as me as your woman, I need to help you put it back into perspective.
I love that. I think men don't know that they can do it. I think more men knew, I think it would be more acceptable. I honestly,
Because women are
Bro.
doing what I'm saying. dude.
Exactly.
They sit up there
That's the
and
whole
say,
point.
"Oh, this a witch
That's the whole point. That's the
Oh
whole
my God,
point.
you got a little problem.
They can't do that.
Head for the heels.
That's the point. They can't. Men can't do that. Men cry in the dark. Men can't do that. You
But
can't.
the thing is, it comes with wisdom and maturity to men.
But-
You got to get to a woman that is a little more mature.
That's what I was gonna say, and it has to be received by the person
Exactly.
who is mature.
Exactly. Because not all women gonna understand what I just said.
Dear listeners,
Yeah.
if you apply to date Dr. V,
Mhm.
you cannot be a head of the household and crying. You just cannot do it. I'm not coming up with
You can't be
nothing.
the head of the household.
I'm gonna
That's not
freestyle
gonna
it.
show your weakness.
That's the
Now,
cat.
if you crying over little minor stuff, then I'm gonna have to tell you, you got to beat that up.
What does it matter?
But
Why I'm
Marcus
crying?
gave a good scenario. He gave
Emotion is emotion.
he gave a situation that I can say, hey, this is how you would handle that. Marcus didn't say he just is behind just crying because somebody took his face.
Do you
Like
think-
somebody just wait a minute, like somebody just stole his bike and walked off with the bike. Now that's the difference.
That could have been his favorite bike. That his daddy bought him before
Then
passing
I'm
away.
gonna tell you to beat that mess up. Go somewhere and sit down in a corner.
Okay, if that's a woman that doing that, you gonna tell her the same thing?
Go somewhere and sit. A woman is different. We're
Yeah.
emotional creatures. Men are turned on by vision. And so that man that took his parking spot, that was a visual thing. And so there's a difference, y'all. Come on now. For men, it's totally different because especially a black man. I'm only gonna speak from a black man's perspective. They already been dogged out. They already getting short end of a stick. They don't need to be dogged out by the woman. We need to be understanding of our men.
So aren't
And that's
women dogged out too? Like is it the whole
didn't I say partnership? If we do it for them, they got to turn around and do it for us. It's a partnership.
Mhm.
So when we're having a bad day, they have to be understanding as well. I'm not saying this is one-sided.
That's my main concern.
Okay.
I think too
It's-
many times men try to use it as cop.
Yeah.
And they try to get at the emotional part.
Yeah.
Support, because like you said, a woman to be there to support. You
Yeah.
be there to support me
Exactly.
for the park space.
Uh-huh.
But then when the decide to come and you use the park space, I gotta come back.
They
and
laugh.
say you're
Well,
right.
hold on. Was there any other parking space? Could you park over in this area here? No, nigga, you could have just been the same way. What you talking about?
Exactly. And men a lot of times feel like we should be able to get away with not being
No,
responsible.
no. It's a partnership. It's
Right.
the same. If
You're
I'm
absolutely
supportive of you, you got to be supportive of me.
And it makes sense. It makes
Point
so much
blank.
sense like that, you know?
Point blank.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Point blank. And so but if a man crying over some stupid stuff, come on. I'm gonna have to sit here like, babe, you're gonna beat that up. It's a way that women can say things, they can still soothe the situation. Because with the slap, Jada could have smoothed that situation with Chris Rock. Come on now. She knew what her husband was getting ready
She
to go
got
through.
exactly what she wanted.
She got what she wanted out of
That's
it.
why she looked at
You know.
I mean, all she did was roll her eyes.
it.
Hey, everybody. I hope that you are watching Straight Talk with Dr. P and Mr. P. We have had a phenomenal. Oh, what did I say?
Dr. P and Mr. P.
What did I
You
say?
said Dr. P and Mr. P.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm sorry. When I tell you, we have had a phenomenal night. I don't know what I'm speaking of, but
Okay.
we have had an enjoyable night with a phenomenal group of individuals today on our show. We want you to continue to like, share, and subscribe and share our posting with others. We're back in full effect. And when I tell you, you need to watch this podcast. You need to also follow Straight
From the
from the Deck, Straight from the Deck. And podcast, I tell you, we have had an enjoyable time. It's good. You know, my girl is Lindsay now, honey. I'm gonna be talking about Lindsay. I am like, oh, I love it. So please continue to like us, and follow us and tell people about us. And you know what? Also, just shoot us some topics that you want us to discuss on this relationship thing, you know, because me and Mr. P, we're not going nowhere. We're here for you, and we're going to share good content every week. You ain't got something to say something to
I'm
people.
gonna let I guess.
Okay, say
wrap this
something
up.
to people.
StreamYard trying to hate on us, but go
Hey,
ahead.
like I said, like, subscribe, check us out on Straight from the with the Deck podcast. Me and Dr. Brown get busy weekly. Sometimes we even give you 2 doses in 1 week.
Oh,
We
shit.
try to keep everything 20 to 25 minutes, short, compact, easy contact. You know what I'm saying? Come on, join in, have a good time. Just like that.
What he said.
What he said? That's
And
it.
guess what? Mr. P and Marcus is going to give me and Lindsay speed dating. So men, if you want to be a part of the speed dating,
Right.
you need to
Six,
come
six,
into
six.
drop into the inbox. Let Mr. P and Marcus know that you want to be a part of the speed dating to meet me and Lindsay, and get an opportunity to meet us. Okay. We are going to have a blast. We will look forward to meeting some eligible bachelors. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
baby.
Over 6 feet.
Over 6 feet, 6'6". If you ain't got 6'6" and the big bedroom, don't need not apply.
Masturbate.
If you ain't got the big bedroom, don't apply. Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank our guests for coming here. We had a blast. We got to
Yes,
do
we
this
did.
again.
Oh,
Energy
Straight talk with
people.
Dr. V and Mr. P. I messed
Straight
up at
from
the
the
beginning.
deck.
But
Come
yeah.
on, we got to do this. Like, subscribe to all the channels, and support us, and we're gonna support you. So,
Yes.
with that being said, thank you guys. Had a
Thank
wonderful
you all.
time.
We had
Thank
a
you for watching.
wonderful time. Yes, we did.
Bye. Peace out.
All right. Peace out. Love you. God bless you.